What up, what up, what up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday to all of you guys. I hope y'all are enjoying your weekend. Shout out to everybody in the building. I hope y'all are doing well. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. As you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you are new in the building and you like the content, but you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and like the video as well. All right. So listen, I want you guys to put a 1 in the chat if the audio is perfectly clear. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is perfectly clear. Shout out to Samuel Blackman, Alex in the building, XYZ, what's going on? Megan Good, what's going on? Letitia Harrison, what's going on? How are you? Kennard the DJ, I hope I'm saying it right. I always get it mixed up, my bad, but I appreciate you. Zenith in the building, Lorenzo Redman, Ryan Wedlow, Anthony Jackson, Nor Wall. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody watching, everybody in the chat, everybody who supports the channel. I appreciate you guys. So I have a couple of video clips I want to go over with you guys per usual. So we're going to get into the live stream. Topic of discussion, the female logic is why so many women are single, plus I want a millionaire. So we're going to get into it. What's going on a night shift, JR? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here. Hit the like button as you come into the building. So is it the female logic that is causing women to be single? Is it all on the women? Is it partly the women and the men? Do men and women both play a role in the state of dating and the fact that so many women are single at this point? I want to play this clip for you guys, which I thought made a lot of good sense, and it definitely speaks to the female logic or the lack thereof. And it comes from It's Complicated channel. Shout out to him. I'll try to put the full link to his video, but shout out to him. He goes on the street and asks all these questions from these women, and they make sense of it, but does it really make sense? A lot of things that women say, it doesn't make sense, but they seem to make it make sense in their mind. The logical reasoning behind what women say and how they make excuses for it is something to be studied, in my opinion. I think all of us, I'm not excluded, which, you know, I learn from my mistakes. That's the whole point. I'm learning from my mistakes, from thinking a certain way, from being raised a certain way, and just not knowing, you know what I mean? Just not knowing things. Because if you weren't taught certain things, sometimes you have to learn on your own, and you'll get there eventually if you're trying to. But if you're stuck in the old traditional mindset that is not really beneficial to you based on what your mothers and your grandmothers taught you, and you just stuck there, then this is why we see a lot of women think the way they think, because they believe the rhetoric that was taught to them, and they don't see anything outside of it. So it doesn't incline them to change or better their mental capacity or their reasoning of thinking. They just think that's what it is, that's what it's going to be, and something's wrong with everybody else, and they're just, you know, they 100% know what they're talking about, when a lot of times they don't. I hope I'm making sense, because a lot of times, once again, when women speak, they don't make any sense and nobody wants to listen, meaning that you're out here on this bonnet crew echo chamber of women saying the same old thing over and over and over, but it's not really making any sense to anybody else, and it's not really helping you to progress and get the things that you really want. So does it matter? Clearly it doesn't matter when it comes to how they think, but to others it does, which is part of the reasoning behind why a lot of men are kind of drifting their own way, because men are not listening and following what these women are saying. You know, these women scream, I want a leader, I want a leader, I want a man to lead, but they really don't. They really don't. That's just a bunch of BS that they say. But a lot of these women don't want leaders. They want followers. They want male followers. They want men to follow their reasoning and what they think is logical, and do whatever they say, because they really want the control. They really want to lead. They really want to do everything that they're saying men should do. And when put in a situation where they have that type of man, they can't handle it. So I'm convinced that a lot of women are the problem, and I said this before. I wouldn't put it solely on women, but I think a lot of the way women think, they've kind of adapted to some male perspectives. And what I mean by that is there are men out here who think the same way these women think. It was shocking to me because, I get on this platform and I speak about good men and that women should, work with a man. I'm not saying that women should worship men and men should worship women. I'm saying they should work together because that's the only way to make it work, by working together. And I'm saying, hey, women, y'all aren't perfect. You're expecting a perfect man, but you're not perfect. So I'm kind of in the middle of this. I don't think that every man has it together, and I certainly don't think that every woman has together. But I think some of these women have adapted certain aspects of the men that they've been dealing with. So if you've been dealing with Pookie and Ray Ray your whole life, and you see how he move, what he's doing, a lot of these women, even though they complain about it, even though they say it's a problem, and this is part of the reason why they think all men cheat and all men are just dogs and bad, is because they've patterned themselves behind the men that they've been accustomed to. If you really look at it, you had Pookie Ray Ray, right? They giving them babies, gave them a chance, was down for them and all that, while he just messed over them, slept with this one and that one, got all the other women pregnant and all of that, and made them distraught, messed over them, dogged them out. So now women, in a sense, it's like they've taken on that mentality. Okay, so this is how men do based off the Pookies they've dealt with. Not all men, but this is what they say. So, oh, these niggas, they just do this. They just dog you out, and I gave you my all, gave you all this, and you messed me over. Okay, so now I'm gonna do what he did to me to somebody else. So you come across another man, you've taken on the idea of that, hey, I'm not going to be messed over again. I'm not going to be treated badly again. So I'm going to be the one doing it. I would rather be the aggressor. I would rather be the one who's dogging the person out than letting them dog me out. This is the type of mentality that they take on. So they take this from the men that they have dealt with who did them dirty. This is why they always say, well, why is there a double standard when it comes to women, sleeping around versus men? Because that Pookie that you was with had you and 10 other women and had multiple baby mamas. He was sleeping around. He was throwing that thing all over the place. And you was right there. And, when y'all finally broke up, you said, I could do the same thing. If he could do it, I could do it. I'm not going to just sitting around looking stupid while he go out and do everything that he want to do. And I just supposed to sit here and be faithful. No. So you've taken that on thinking that this is the nature of all men and that there are no faithful men and all men cheat. So you going to go and take it upon yourself and be just like him. You're going to sleep around like him. You're going to act like him. You're going to take on that aggressive, manly attitude like him. You don't give a shit about nobody else but yourself like he did to you. So now you're acting in that way and you don't realize that's doing you a disservice. That's not helping you because men and women are not the same. So there are women who have taken that on. They've taken on the worst attributes of men. It's not all of the men, but it's the ones that they've been accustomed to. And I think that is part of the problem. And they don't see it. And they're going in circles, pissed off at every man because they can't find one who's going to deal with them and be what they need them to be. They don't know any other way, and they're not trying to figure it out. They just stuck in this mode of, oh, I was did dirty, so I'm just going to keep this mentality. And so that is part of the reason why a lot of these women will stay single. I mean, there's so many other examples that I could bring up of women doing this, and it's just not helpful to them. It's not benefiting them. The only way it may benefit them if they're dealing with a man who has no goals, no desires. He has nothing to offer. He's just, she can just control him and run over him. He has no balls. He's just, just whatever goes. He don't give a shit. Unless it's somebody like that who just there for the ride. He don't give a shit about nothing. And she could tell him what to do and he'll do it. Unless it's somebody like that. And she don't really want that. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on that. Listen, make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, you guys. So I want to get into this first clip and I want to get your thoughts on it. So make sure you are chiming in the comments, you guys. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Love is a funny thing. The romance stuff and infatuation, none of that is love. It never was love. Mm-hmm. Love comes 15, 20, 25 years into a relationship with somebody. And how do you get to that point where there's real intimacy and real love if one person's fawning over the other all the time? All it does is build resentment and entitlement.
Who do you think is more romantic, men or women, and why?
Women, because we just think better.
Because we romanticize our whole lives.
I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic sometimes because I come up with so many scenarios in my head about like what I want to do with my partner or like all the fun things and all the cute things, just everything in between.
Why are most romantic songs written by men about women?
That's actually a really good question. I think maybe because they feel like they fantasize a lot.
Because men are horny and sexual. They sexualize everything.
What's the most romantic thing a man can do for a woman?
Think about her in every possible way.
Effort, yeah, just communication, I guess.
What's the most romantic thing a woman can do for a man?
The same thing. Reciprocate all energy.
What does it mean to be romantic?
Reciprocate energy.
Be thoughtful in planning things that show that you love them.
I think it means to show your love, care, affection, and consideration for somebody materialistically, emotionally, and mentally.
Why is a woman's love more likely something that needs to be earned through courtship than a man's love? Why did society set things up that way?
Because women are the prize.
If men have to prove their worth to the female, how is romance not just female worship?
It is, I guess.
Because women are better than men and they don't need to earn anything. Men need to earn everything.
And see, that's the problem. That's why I love these videos, because women are so delusional. This idea that the woman is a prize, but she offers nothing, but she wants everything from the man is redundant and ridiculous. And I think it's a narrative that has to change. And I think it's changing because the men have changed and the women are still out here being, just unrealistic. And no matter, and I said this before, probably several times, a lot of women, no matter the size, no matter how obese, no matter what you look like, whether you're facially challenged, whether you're, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like, what walk of life you come from, who you are as a person, your character, your attitude, none of that matters. It's just men are supposed to just look at a woman who's got breast and a vagina and say, oh my God, she's the goddamn prize. Let me give her all my money. Oh my God, she has a vagina and I know I want some. Let me give her all my money. Let me just cater to her and buy her whatever she wants. Because as a man, this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to just give women our last, risk our lives, give our money, give all our resources, and cater to them till there's no end. And if they walk away and say, I don't really want you, oh, well, we just got to suck it up and we got to start from scratch. This is what they're telling men that they should do, basically. Essentially, hey, be a sucker, be a simp. Be just go all out for every woman you meet. And this is what you're supposed to do the most while they just sit back on their throne, whether the throne is 600 pounds, whether the throne looks like a wildebeest, whether the throne is, masculine and talk like a man and say, bitch, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter if they masculine, if they gonna talk to you like a man, if they gonna disrespect, no matter what, you supposed to still be bowing down. Oh my God, yes, queen, honey, because y'all are the prizes. Ooh, I gotta do as a man. I gotta do this when she talks just as heavy as you. You the man. You supposed to do this. Biggest ever, a hot mess, colored hair, just a mess. Don't really take care, just anybody. Y'all supposed to just be if you ain't a real man in some of their minds or some of their eyes, if you don't treat a woman like that, just on GP, just on general purposes, meet her and oh my God, bow down to you, queen. What do you want? Because this is what we supposed to do as men. We're supposed to treat every woman that comes in contact with us like a queen. No matter if, she sit there and order $500 worth of food and eat it all in front of you, like, just a mess. Like, you supposed to sit there and be, oh yeah, because you got a vagina. I better not say nothing because these women are the prize. And if I say something, I don't give them what they want. Ooh, I ain't gonna ever have a woman. Child. Let's continue.
Why do you think men don't reject the romantic model?
Because they want to do it, but they will only do it for the women they want to do it for.
I think it's the other way around. I think a man's love needs to be earned. That's why women have to wait for a man to get on one knee and say that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. We have to earn a man's love and we have to be picked. That's why we don't get on one knee. Men get on one knee.
If men should masturbate to fill their sexual needs, why don't women read romance novels to fill their romantic needs?
A lot of times women do, but like I said, a woman shouldn't have to do anything. A woman should be attended to, like, without saying.
Now, see, and it always the ones that look like that. I'm just saying that this is the ones that always think like that. The ones that are facially challenged and just may not even be the pick of the litter anyway are the ones who have the most unrealistic standards. Now, if we all gonna be honest, if you come across, what you would call a 10 plus, beautiful woman. Y'all know those beautiful women y'all like. If you come across beautiful woman, she's wearing her natural hair. Just gorgeous, no makeup. Like, she's just naturally super, super gorgeous, right? And you like, damn, she look good. And she's feminine and sweet and nice and talk to you. Most men probably would be attracted to her. And most men, if y'all gonna be honest, would probably think about it. Like, wait a minute now. She look good. She's nice. She's friendly. She'll talk to you. You gonna think, damn, this might be a catch. She looks pretty. She sounds. Let me see what's going on. And if she turns out to be everything you think she is, then I think men wouldn't mind spending money on her. They wouldn't mind doing things for her because she's the total package. She comes. You might think twice about being a simp. I'm just saying, possibly. You might think twice about you might try to simp for her. Some. I ain't saying all men will do it, but some might think about it. Hold on, because you feel like she might deserve it. Like, hold on, if she's loving and kind and she's pretty as hell and she's sweet and she like you wouldn't mind doing things for her. I don't think it's simping when you are getting, the love is being reciprocated. If you're doing something for a person and she's reciprocating that love back, then I don't consider that simping. I think simping is when you're doing the most for a woman who clearly is not showing you that she likes you. She don't like you. She's pushing back on everything, and you just keep trying to give her more. That's what I call simping, because you're trying to do too much, and she's showing you right in your face she don't really give a shit. But when the love is being reciprocated back, then I don't consider that simping. It's you both doing things for each other. But I think when men see attractive women like that, they might think they wouldn't mind doing things for her, because if she's a good person and she looks good, hell, you can't lose. But if you looking like a wildebeest and you out here look like you got, extra fingers and toes and stuff like that, and extra other shit. Come on now. These men, they're gonna think you crazy. They're gonna think you crazy. That's what it is. It's like you got people out here who have their lips look like they burnt. They got dry patches all around their mouth. People who look like people who look like these comedians, these women who look like men, all kinds of stuff out here, and be 400 pounds, breathing hard and stuff, ready to eat every 5 minutes and stuff. Those are the ones that looking for a man to pay all their bills, a man to do the most for them. The ones who look like, like they could climb trees and shit. Them the ones that want y'all to give them the most. They want y'all to pay, do everything. Like, are unrealistic. Pay all my bills. I want a house and a vacation and this and that. and they look like they could climb trees, I swear. And they're growing hair all over their face. Just saying. Them be the ones who want the most. Let's continue.
Attempted to, like, without saying.
I feel like it's different. Lust and romance don't always go hand in hand. They don't always correlate. I think men tend to be more lustful while women search for romance. And I feel like they're filled in different ways that a book can't compared to a man with lust.
Why should men have any obligations to fill women's emotional needs if women don't feel any obligation to fill men's physical needs?
Because once again, who is a man? Nobody.
Why is Valentine's Day and also weddings typically more about pleasing the woman than celebrating the couple?
Because that's just how the world made it.
Why are there more traditions to celebrate women, and would that make sense if we're living in a patriarchy?
Because women are the prize.
Because if it wasn't for a woman, there wouldn't be any men on this earth. So we should be celebrating women every day.
Ma'am, and once again, the woman, what did she say? Let me take, because I lose my train of thought sometimes. Hold on.
A woman, there wouldn't be any men on this earth. So we should be celebrating women every day.
But doesn't it take men to also produce more women?
But doesn't it take a woman first? You can get an IVF without a man and still have a baby. You can't be a man and do that. You can only be a woman.
How is romance not just fueled by Hollywood propaganda teaching men to simp for women?
It is.
Because honestly, nobody can force you to do anything unless you're just stupid and are easily influenced. Men are 100%, willing to do whatever they want to do. So if they choose to treat a woman a certain type of way and it just so happens to come off as simpy, that's all in their own accord.
See, and this is the thing. See, you as the man, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you do it, they know it's considered simping. They know. They're not dumb. They know that if they can get a man to do all the stuff that they're asking, they know you're dumb for doing it, right? But they're not going to tell you that until after the fact. And then they'll make it seem like it's your fault. Oh, well, if you're stupid enough to do it, oh, well, that's on you. You know what I mean? Like, you damn if you do, damn if you don't, you do it. They're not going to tell you not to because they benefit. But then after the fact, oh, well, ain't nobody forced you to do it. I hate when people do that because it's like, there's no accountability on your part. And you're nasty. Like you have no care about anybody else when you do that. Oh, well, I didn't ask you or I didn't force you to do it. You did it because you wanted to do it. Not even grateful that you did or appreciative. It's just, it's still a nasty attitude. So this is why more men are inclined not to do it, because if you do it, you're simping. If you don't do it, oh, well, you stupid. It was your fault. Nobody made you do it, So that's why they're choosing not to. Let's continue.
Nobody is influencing anybody, not even Hollywood propaganda.
How can chivalry be dead if romance is still the cultural standard for men and women falling in love?
Chivalry is dead, so.
You believe chivalry is dead?
Yeah.
But how could it be dead if that's the cultural standard for men and women falling in love?
Because I don't think that's the same thing as being romantic.
What's the difference?
Being romantic is passionate, and that's opening a door for somebody, like this common decency.
What's the difference between being romantic and being a simp?
I think there's no difference.
A simp is like you're basically being romantic to a woman that wants nothing to do with you.
Right.
Romance is like you're doing it for your person.
Exactly.
Being a simp is just doing anything for anyone at all, and being romantic is being with somebody you love and doing things you love for them.
How can you show love to a woman without putting her on a pedestal?
Do everything you can to make her life easier.
Do women put themselves on a pedestal, or does society pedestalize the women?
We put it on ourselves for sure.
So didn't women set the terms that they needed to be served and placed on a pedestal, which created simping in the first place?
Yes.
So if this imbalance is created by women, why are people blaming simps for women's bad behavior?
Because simps automatically assume that they're men. A simp can be a woman. Like, a woman do start a lot of things, but most people just like to blame it on men because nobody likes guys.
What's the
Nobody likes guys. That's saying a lot. That is, whoo, child. That's mind-boggling. Nobody likes guys. I heard somebody else say it. Nobody likes men. I don't really like men that much, but we see. We could tell. We could tell. We could tell. We could tell a lot of these women just hate men. And they hate to say it, and they just try to find all the fault in the world with them, but they really just hate men. You know what I mean? They want to call men misogynists, but they don't call themselves out for their misandrous behavior. They want to say that men hate women, but these women are very clear and open to the fact that they don't, and they're acknowledging that they hate men. Most women don't like men. That's why they have this disdain and all these negative things to say about men that they don't even know. And this is why it's so easy for them to put all men in this category, to say this is what they all do. And I'm like, nah, this ain't all of them. Maybe it's the ones that you came in contact with, and I'm not disputing that. I'm not going to dispute your experience. If you've had experience with pookies and bad dudes who mess you over, I have no skin in the game. I'm not trying to refute what you've experienced, but don't refute my experience. Don't try to tell me all niggas ain't shit, and I'm telling you I ain't never dealt with a bunch of shit ass niggas. That's your experience, not mine. So I can't come from a perspective of no shit ass niggas because I have not dealt with that. Do I know that they exist? Hell yeah. I have eyes. I have life experiences. I know that they do. I know people. So yes, I know that they exist, but I also know that ain't shit women exist too. This is where you can't get me in that Bonnet Crew sisterhood, because I just can't sit up here and lie and do that. I'm not going to go with the sisterhood Bonnet Crew narrative and just say, oh, all men are this, all men are that, every woman, all these women just tired. All these women just got tired of all the shit these niggas put them through. When I know a lot of y'all done put niggas through shit too. That y'all ain't perfect. Y'all, a lot of ratchet Bonnet Crew members out in these streets who don't want to take accountability for their actions. This is where you lose me, because I'm never, ever going to sit up here and lie and act like all the men in the world ain't shit and all the women are perfect. That's a bunch of BS and they know it. No, there ain't shit women and there ain't shit men. They're good men and they're good women. Why can't we just accept that that is what it is? This is why I say it's uneven. And I think a lot of women just want to, every time they're in a relationship and the relationship fails, oh, he was a narcissist. Oh, he was this. Oh, I couldn't deal with it. Oh, he changed. Oh, he just lying through your goddamn teeth. And some of them don't have teeth. You're lying through your gums and your wigs. Just lying. Stop lying and be honest. That's all I'm saying. Be real about it. All this fake ass bullshit that they putting out here, it's just mind boggling and it's getting tiresome. It's getting old. Stop. When y'all know y'all be ratchet and foul and y'all laugh about it and joke about it and act, and because it's acceptable, it's like that believe all women crap. Just believe every woman is perfect. Women could do no wrong. Oh my God. And like that lady was saying, oh, when I see a black woman with a white man, I just say, oh, she's tired. Oh, she's tired. No. And then when you see a black man with a white woman, oh, he's weak. You see, this is the narrative that they put out there, and it's shameful and it's sad. It really is, and I'm just not with it. That's all. You can believe what you want to believe. I don't care. What other people believe or whatever. But I'm not going to sit here and just go with the flow. No, because I know it's a lie, and I'm not going to condone that. That type of behavior and those type of lies, because I know it's not true. And that's what the sisterhood Bonnet Crew is all about. It's about women sticking together, regardless to whether you're wrong or right, whether you're telling the truth or not. And that's just bullshit. I'm not going out with that ship. No, I'm not. Let's continue.
Craziest thing you've done, or has someone done for you in the name of love?
Nothing.
Like restraining order crazy or romantic crazy?
What's the difference?
A lot is the difference. The difference is dating in your early 20s and your late 20s.
Do you feel obligated when somebody does some big romantic gesture?
Not necessarily. If I'm dating the person, then it just means a lot, and I'm very grateful.
Do you feel obligated when somebody does some big romantic gesture?
No.
Do you believe men initially do really nice things for women because they want sex?
Yes.
If so, why would a woman ever accept an extravagant offer from a man if she wasn't interested in having sex?
It's hard to.
Can you be more specific? What do you mean?
It's hard to accept romantic gestures because that's what they want.
Do you believe
Well, this is something I said a while back too, because I've went through that. I mean, I understood, back in the day when I was dating, you date somebody, and this was before I was married, and I didn't date very long because I was married, fairly young. So I didn't date very long, but the little bit of dating that I did do, I was with the mindset of I'm not taking expensive gifts or gifts from men because I don't want there to be an expectation. You know, Back in the day, it was a mindset of, well, for some women, apparently not all. It was a mindset that, listen, if I know I'm not trying to sleep with you, if I know I don't want to be with you intimately, then I don't, because that happens now. Well, men will offer you, I remember I was offered like a necklace, a beautiful necklace. And I was like, no, that's nice. Thank you so much. But I'll pass. I don't, I don't accept, gifts from men. I'm not really involved with you because I knew, like, women know this is why they expect and request so many things from a man, because they know the ultimate goal is, oh, he want to have sex with you. So that. So this is why they're asking for materialistic things up front, because they know that they might give it up, they might or they might not. But the idea is, that this man is attracted to you physically. He gonna want sex from you. So this is why they're saying, oh, well, give me money, pay for this, and all this is because more than likely they might do it or they might not. But I think it's on the woman to set the standard to say, you know what, I'm not gonna accept anything from you, any gifts or anything, because I don't want the expectation to be that I'm gonna give you something back, and I know I don't want to do that. I don't want to be with you intimately, or I don't see you like that or whatever. And so no, I'm not going to take your gift. And so that way you take that off the table. That way that guy knows, okay, well, she ain't trying to go that route. So it's off the table, and it's not happening. But if you women know that if a man is attracted to you, that he's going to want sex from you, and you set the stage to whether you're going to give that to him or not. So it's always the idea that, listen, if that's not the type of girl you are, or you just not feeling him like that and you're not into him, don't accept anything from him. This is why I said before, listen, if you go on a date with a guy, you're not really attracted to him, then be willing to pay for your meal, pay for your own meal. So that way he understands, okay, she ain't trying to do that with me. So she paying her own meal. And that way y'all can continue the conversation and continue to date if that's what y'all want to do. If he wants to do that, if you want to do that, but you set this tone for how you want that date to go. And you send that message to him that, hey, this is not what I'm trying to do. I see you. I know that you like me and I know what you're trying to do, but I'm not really on that type of time. So I'm not even going to, engage in that way. I think that would make more sense. At least that's how I used to think. And there were other women that I knew who thought that way as well. So, because once again, I will say this, if a woman really likes you, when you take her out on a date, if she really like you and she feeling you, these women be talking a good game, but be honest truth, if she like you, she will sleep with you. All this, or I'm not sleeping on the first day and I'm not doing all this, all that is subjective. If she finds you attractive and he finds her attractive, that's why he's partly on that date. If she really like you, child, she gonna bust it open because she like you. That's just what it is. If she's playing games and she talking all this other bullshit and she don't like you, so she's not trying to do nothing with you. Women will give it up if they are attracted to you physically. That's just what it is. They'll try to act like, oh, I ain't doing that. And all that. They will do it if they're attracted to you, if they like you. If it's not the first night and y'all keep going out and y'all keep hanging out and she's attracted, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
If two people can ever love each other equally, or is one going to love the other one more?
I think one's going to love the other more.
Is it true that whoever loves the other one less has the power?
Yes.
So if women want to submit to a man's leadership, wouldn't that mean the woman needs to love the man more than he loves her?
Yes.
So why do women think it's the opposite?
Honestly, I think it depends on the person, because not every woman thinks like that.
Because men are supposed to lead, and if you lead, then we're submissive.
Should a man be expected to love a woman for who she is if a woman only loves a man for what he provides?
Honestly, in society, yes, men are expected to, but is it fair for it to be like that? Technically not, but if we're going, statistic wise, yeah.
Is there a difference between how men and women show love?
Yes.
What is that difference?
I think they're more protective and act like your father when they love you.
Why don't women show love to men in the same way that women want to receive love from men?
Because women are women and men are men, and they have completely different mindsets.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Dating for women is like shopping, while dating for men is like a job interview that he's paying for.
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
We feel like they're runner-ups and contestants.
So we have nothing but options because y'all would fuck a tree if it had a vagina. So of course it's shopping for us, but for men it's a job interview because like y'all are so thirsty. We have to pick the right man. Like there's no demand for the supply. So of course we can go shopping for it because it's in abundance.
But then y'all don't pick the right guys. That's the thing. Yeah, there are more options for men because there are more women than men, but women still pick the wrong men and then complain about all men. So, to me, the female logic is flawed. The female logic is flawed. A lot of women don't really know what they want, and they're basing it all on a feeling. They're basing it all on how they feel and the vibes, and I think that's the problem. A lot of these women don't really know what they want, and they're just going after something. And if it makes them feel good, and the things that make you feel good are typically the things that are wrong for you. You know what I mean? I think women are the confused group. I really do. I think in time and all of these experiences and what we're seeing is showing that it's really very clear. It's really showing us in real time that a lot of women are the most confused. Women are the confused ones. And this goes to a video that I'll probably be posting really soon, or even I might pull it up here, about this woman who's married to a good man, but somehow she wants to leave him and planning out the divorce. And I saw this on Anton's channel. This woman is white woman. This is why this is where, we're starting to see this is just not a Black issue. This is a woman's issue, no matter what race she is. These women are confused and batshit crazy. They don't know what they're doing, and they're trying to make it up as they go. And they're trying to make it make sense, and they're digging a ditch for themselves. This is just a woman thing. This is not black, white, green, purple, blue. This is just women across the goddamn board. Women who are married, got good husbands, and clearly let you know that. But somehow you're thinking about leaving him just because you feel in a certain way. And planning out how you gonna do it and what you think your life gonna look like. And then if you ever make that decision like Tia Mowry and make that step, you're gonna be miserable as hell and realize what a big mistake you made. But you're gonna and smile and play it off like you made it's such a great thing, and I'm on this journey and this celebration and this graduation, and I'm just living my best life of finding myself while I'm a single mother, and trying to glorify being a single mother when people are not even considering you a single mother because you have an active father in your children's lives. You're not doing this by yourself. You just chose to leave your family and break up your home because you felt like you needed to go on a journey. You needed to take a trip. So that meant get a divorce. And then they really eventually realize when they hit 50 and 60 and you're alone now, you're still trying to find yourself. You never found yourself. So it's the women, in my opinion, once again, and I just think whatever our genetic makeup or whatever's in our mind and what's causing us to have these feelings is screwing us up. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
But we are a lot more coveted with our goodies, so that's why it's a job interview, because if you want to get in, you have to work for it.
If women have an abundance of choices, would women ever enter an arrangement where they weren't knowingly in control?
No.
So if women are the choosers, how are men the leaders?
Good question.
How can men lead if it's by women's terms?
Oh, right. They can't. They can't, baby. He be getting them. I love his channel. He really be tearing their asses up. They be stomped. Because it doesn't make sense. This is why I say these women don't want a leader, baby. They don't want no leader. They want to lead you. They want to call the shots. They just want your finances. They want your leadership when it comes to the money. They want you to pay for everything. You know, this is why it's not an equal playing field. You want the resources of a man, but you want to tell him what to do with it. You want to be the leader of everything while he pays for you to lead. That's what they want. And I mean, that's it in a nutshell. You can ask any woman, look, you want a leader? No, you want a leader to in the sense of financial stability. You want him to pay all the bills and work on your terms. That's why you want a man who make all the money, who can pay all the bills, pay for all the trips, pay for all everything, and you still want to work, but your money is your money. They think men are stupid. I said this before. They think men are clowns. They want y'all to pay for everything while they sit back and just be fat as ever, eating oodles and noodles and whatever, do whatever they want. This life of leisure that just don't require no effort or responsibility on their part. They just want to sit back and be able to do whatever they want while you deal with all the responsibilities, all of the issues that come up, all of the problems where they could glide on easy mode with their wigs and bonnets and trips with their girlfriends doing menage a trois and come back to you smiling while you just pay for it. They don't want to be responsible for anything. They can, all the benefit is on them. That's why I think it's BS when they say, oh, men benefit from marriage. No, the hell they don't. Not in this day and age, because what are men getting from these women? You ain't getting shit from them. Well, how he benefit when he decides to get married to a woman that he believes loves him and is going to be there and have his back and be there for him, but just to find out she is a gold digging hoe out on the streets just waiting to go hook up with other niggas and do whatever, and chicks to do whatever she want to do, but she just got you there because you paying all the goddamn bills. And that's a benefit to who? Who that's a benefit to? That ain't a benefit to no damn man. And then when she get tired, once she done stacked up her coins, oh, this ain't serving no more. I'm out. I just woke up and felt like God was telling me this ain't my husband. After all these years and all this money he done spent on you, you done got your coins together. Now God done spoke to you and told your ass, oh, I feel like I gotta get out of this. This ain't my husband, so I'm out. And it don't matter if you have kids with him or not. It doesn't matter. This is why men don't want to get married, because they realize this is some BS. These women could just up and decide, no fault divorces. Oh, I'm out. I'm tired of this, so I'm out. I'm tired of using him. I'm tired of playing these games. I'm tired of living a lie. I got all I could get out of this. Now I'm out. I'm on to the next child. This is what they're doing, and it's ridiculous. Jamil 843, thank you for the super chat. Says most modern women want a lapdog. That's crazy. Thank you for the super chat. Make sure you guys are supporting the channel via super chat or a cash app. Also hit the like button, you guys. We got about 112 people in here. We got 85 likes. Go ahead and get the likes up, y'all. This is crazy. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, it's true though. They think men are crazy. They really do. They just think men are just stupid and just gonna stand by and fall for the shenanigans that they're putting out here. No, I don't think anybody. I have sons. I don't want my sons to be oblivious to these types of women and walking out here thinking you got to give your whole check to a woman who don't even give a shit about you. Hell no. No, she better go work and take care of her damn self and her kids too. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, you know, it's just a mess out here. Jamil 843, thank you once again for the super chat. Says, I love when the New Orleans comes out, LOL. when I start getting passionate, it'll come out more. Thank you. I appreciate you for the support. It starts to come out, you know. And you know, I haven't lived in New Orleans for a long time, but the accent is still in there. And yeah, when I get to talking fast, it'll come out. It'll come out definitely, child. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's just crazy though, but it's ridiculous. And then they want to get mad and shame men because men don't want single mothers and they don't want this. Y'all, these types of women are out of they're batshit crazy. As I'm just saying, y'all don't want. Y'all want to use somebody, but if a man if a man was using them, all hell would break loose. Oh my God, these niggas, all they do want to try to use women and do this and this and that. But y'all doing the same thing. Y'all taking from their playbook. That's why I said that earlier. You taking from a man who messed you over and didn't give a shit about you and wasn't there for you and left you high and dry. And then now you're going out trying to use men as a result of what that one man did to you. Every man, and that's not every man. You keep picking the low lives and thinking that they're going to do you some good. And when they show you they just ain't nothing but a low life, now you mad at every man and every man ain't shit. No. And so you try to you end up hurt people. You end up hurting somebody who didn't deserve it because an ain't shit dude hurt you 20 years ago. Let's continue.
I have no clue.
Are men leading when they subject themselves to rejection at a woman's discretion?
No.
So then why do we say that men are leaders when women are in control?
We want you guys to lead while we're still in control.
Thank you for being honest.
That's crazy.
If we're told that the average man isn't good enough for the average woman, how is that not pedestalizing women and belittling men?
I definitely think it is. I don't feel like as society we view that as an equal playing field, but I don't feel like how we should view people. Everyone has a heart, everyone has a soul, and I don't believe that's how we should look at each other.
Why do men continue to pedestalize women while women continue to degrade men?
I think it depends on the relationship. I don't see all women degrading men, and I don't see all men degrading women. I think it just is up for interpretation and how one's relationship's going.
If women aren't expected to be with average men, then why are men expected to be with women past their prime?
I've been with some pretty average men, so I don't think it comes down to what someone looks like. I think as people's soul and the way that they are means more than what a look can.
Well, she's being nice. Yeah, I, once again, shout out to It's Complicated channel because he brings out some good thought-provoking questions to make them, they got to stop and think, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense what we're doing, right? And so, yeah, it's just a superficial thing that a lot of women have, and they don't care. Like I said, it's not, they're entitled. I always use that term because it's the truth. A lot, and it once again, and I have to spend some, this is not all women. I don't want women to hear these conversations, well, the conversations I'm having, and think that I'm just bashing women. No, I'm just calling out women who think like this, and I think it's not beneficial to our communities for men or women. But this is not all women. All women don't think like this, and I'm one of them. I don't think like this, and there are others who don't think like this. But what we hear is the majority of the women who think like this. And nobody likes to talk about it. And when you do, if it's a man, oh, men shouldn't be talking about women's. Well, I'm a woman and I can talk about the nature of women because I know what y'all be up to. I know the nature of women, good, bad, indifferent. It is not necessarily good or bad. It's just your thought process. It's how you think, how you act, and what you expect, and the entitlements and all of the things, unrealistic expectation, all of the stuff that some women have. And they think men are supposed to just sit back and listen to it and accept it. And I don't agree with that. And so once again, it's not all women. It's not all women. There are a lot of women who think logically and understand where I'm coming from, but a lot of them don't because it's a selfish mentality. And if you want to be selfish, then you're going to think selfishly. You're going to think and do things in a way that's only going to benefit you. You don't care about what a man thinks. You don't care about his livelihood. You don't care about him at all. These are women who typically hate men in disguise, or they just don't like men for whatever reason, or they just want to use them and you want to be able to take advantage of them. That's the type of women, in my opinion, who think this way. Because logical, loving, respectful women who look at men as at men in a way to be desired and look at men as something worthy and that they have value and they're special, don't think like that. You look at them as a human being and hey, they have feelings. You are concerned about them. You're not just there trying to take advantage of them and could give two shits about him. Like, you know what I mean? Women who really care about people are not going to just sit back and just be ready to take advantage of anybody. So once again, I think a lot of the women who think like this are just not really good people. They don't have really good character. They're just not good people, in my opinion. Because if you could sit back and just say that about all men and don't have no type of regard for them, don't have no care in the world, and just talk so negatively on them, you need to reevaluate yourself and the type of person that you are, because it doesn't sound like you're a good person. That's what I'm saying. Jontel, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, I thought D was going to say, make them say, no, y'all tripping. No, I wasn't about to say that. Y'all a trip. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for the support, Jontel. I appreciate you. That's my song though. But I know exactly where it come from, but thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, child, it's just a hot mess. And I'm not surprised why men are walking and doing their own thing. And people say it's only just a social media thing. No, it's not. A lot of these men not dealing with these women. They look, if they can find somebody that, they can just get some coochie out of, they're getting it and they moving on. These men are much more at peace with themselves than dealing with these type of bird brains who are expecting all this from a man. These women want millionaires. You want rich men. You got old broads out here expecting the most from a man, never been married, thinking that they deserve a millionaire, and you damn near 60 years old. Like, come on, stop it. Them men don't want no old ass women like that. They don't. They have never went for no old ass women. They're about to play with you. They might play with you, but they ain't trying to marry you and all of that. What's the point? Men build themselves up financially. Why? What's the whole point of a man? Now, y'all tell me, what's the whole point of a man building himself up financially, getting his things in order to do what? What is the sole purpose of a man building himself up to do what? To do what? To prepare for a family, right? That was the ultimate goal, right? A man is supposed to, go get a job or start a business or whatever to prepare for what? A man is supposed to go out and get a house or whatever, right? If he wants to start a family, if he wants children, if he wants a wife, he's supposed to prepare, get to a point in his life where he's prepared and building up for a family. That's the whole point. A single man by himself don't need to go buy a whole house if he's not trying to put a wife and kids in it. You don't have to do that. But if you're preparing for a family, that's the whole point of a man working, going to establish himself so that he can prepare his life for a family, a wife and kids. So it would make sense a man go and buy a house, getting it together, then he want to find a wife to put him and his family in. Otherwise, if you don't want to and do just fine. Women don't understand that. They go out and they get it for themselves, and there's nothing wrong with working for yourself, because as a young person and you're not married, you got to go work. So you work, take care of yourself, but they don't plan for husbands. They don't go out try to prioritize a husband because they want to do it by themselves. So they go do it by themselves. You buy your own house and you go have your own kids. And then you put you and your kids in the house, and now you want a man to come in and follow your lead. This is what they want. I got the house. I got the kids. Now you want him to come in while you 40-something years old to come in and do what? What's the point of him coming into your house with your kids? Well, that don't even sound right when you think about it. It is not. That is all out of order, all doing it the wrong way. Why he gonna come into your house so you could call the shots and tell him what to do and tell him what he ain't gonna do when he gotta come in and you want him to come in and pay all your bills, take on all of your bills that you've established, all of your debt that you've accumulated. You want him to come in and take on all that so you can live a soft girl life and go out and do what you want. Not you wanting this man so you can, treat him like a man and do things for him and make his life easier, seeing as you want him to come and take on all your bills. You don't even want to be a stay-at-home wife at this time, even though you still want to work. You still want to do your own thing. You just want him to pay for it. Because now you done created this lifestyle for yourself. Now the bills are adding up. Now you got to pay all this shit by yourself for real. You didn't think you was going to have to do it all by yourself this long. You thought, oh, I'm going to go get the career, go have my kids, put them in the house, and I'm going to do this. And then next thing, I'm going to have a husband, and my husband going to come in and take on all of the responsibility. And when that don't happen, now you're in panic mode. Because once again, women talk this independent BS, but they don't want to do that long term. They don't want to be this independent boss chick forever. They want to do it to prove something to themselves. And then they want y'all to come in and take on the load, take on the responsibility so they can have this soft girl life. That's just what it is. This is why they're complaining. They thought they could command a husband at a certain point, and when they can't, they're depressed and tripping. So yeah, they want men. They want men as an afterthought to come in and pay their bills. That's really it. That's really it. Christopher Jackson, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Zena, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you for being here as well. Thank y'all once again for the support. Let's continue.
Do you believe that unconditional love is possible in a romantic relationship?
Yes.
Or are people only as loyal as their options?
I think it's possible.
People are only as loyal as their options. That's always the case. People will always choose up. They will always choose up. And I agree. Choose up. Choose up, because your man will choose up.
Can you think of any type of love other than romantic love where money is an issue?
A dog. I love my dog unconditionally. He's broke. He's my best friend. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. I'd die for him. Shout out to Nacho.
So wouldn't that mean that romantic love is conditional?
It is conditional because romance is not free. Romance requires work, effort. Sometimes it requires money depending on who you're with. So if you're not able to provide what that person needs to feel romantically in love, then it's conditional.
Well, wouldn't that mean that romantic love is conditional if money is a factor?
No. Okay, so there is possible for you to be in love and there is no type of financial relationship within it. Like that is most definitely possible, and it's just not as common.
Well, shouldn't love be more about acceptance rather than expectation?
Yes, but it's 2025 and that's the evil world we live in.
Well, who's perpetuating that evil?
Society.
Aren't women half of society?
Women.
And aren't women in control of relationships?
But yes, at the end of the day, they're never wrong. So there's nothing you can say to make me go against women.
See, and I knew she was delusional. I could tell by her hair and her glasses. She was delusional. And that's a lot of women. That's how a lot of women think. Oh, I never go against women. Women are always right. And that's what's messing y'all up. That's what's screwing y'all up. And y'all it's cute when you're 20 years old and you talking like that. But when you hit 40, it starts to look a little different. Them titties start to sagging down. You know, them stretch marks come out the back of them legs, because I have a couple of them. I ain't gonna lie, on my legs. Them spider veins come out. I got them after one of my pregnancies, and oh my God, I have like 2 of them. So that's not too bad. Those spider veins start popping out on your legs. All that cellulite get on the back of your legs. Them titties start to sag in. You start seeing different things happening, and then you can't tell me you won't sit here and say, oh, you are much better in your 40s than you were in your 20s. It's lies. You get older and shit start to change. And if you are out here still single at 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Your options aren't all that great. So it would all this superficial stuff, all this BS that it's just a distraction to keep y'all single and keep y'all, out here in these streets by yourself, struggling, because that's what it's going to look like. And I just think they're not paying attention. You know what I mean? And women aren't always right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They're not always right. And I think that's that bonnet crew sisterhood. Like, I'm gonna stick with all the women, even though they wrong. I'm gonna just say they right. Oh yeah, because we gotta quit sticking together, all y'all single and distraught and confused by yourselves. Nah, I don't want to be in a group of women who are distraught and confused and wear bonnets all day. I don't have time for that. I don't want to be out here looking stupid. I don't want to be out here dragging along and supporting something that doesn't benefit me. For what? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's how a lot of women think. And that's why you have the majority of these women who are single mothers out here by themselves, wondering where they man at. When is my turn coming? When am I going to find my person? Never.
So y'all gonna have to change or get it together, or you're never gonna find a man who gonna want to be with you. Shit.
Never. Because if you don't want to change, if you think like that, you're going to just be by yourself, boo. Ain't no man coming out here with all this money just to sit back and cater to you 24/7 while you sitting up here looking like Freddy Krueger. Shit, who wants to do that? No. The bonnet crew is out of control. So you just might as well get comfortable living your own life and doing your own thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Stop having all these. Listen, and I'll say this too. You can have all of the expectations that you want. Okay. I can't tell you what expectations to have or not have. You can have all the expectations that you want, and that's your business. I ain't mad at it. Trust me, I'm not mad at it. I tell you, do what you want to do. Do you? I'm just telling you, your outcomes might not be as favorable as you think they are. Do what you want to do. I'm just telling you, those choices have consequences. That's it. I am not here to make or try to change your mind or make you do something other than what you want to do, because at the end of the day, we have freedom of choice. You can choose what you want all day till you're blue in the face. Just keep in mind, though, the choice that you make, the way you want to think and go about certain things is going to yield a certain type of result. And hey, if you defy the odds and you do something that I say might not be the best option to do, and you get a great outcome from it, and you live in good, happy, let me know. Because guess what? I'm happy for you. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I have what I want. So I'm not mad at anybody who gets what they want. Just the possibilities of you getting what you want based on what you're doing, your actions, is not likely. I'll just say. I ain't gonna say it's impossible, because I don't think it's impossible, but depending on the people, depending on the person. There might be a man who wanna, spend all this money, who don't mind losing it all. There might be a man out there who just like you enough, and he gonna say, yeah, I'll take care of you and I'll do all these things for you in spite of. You don't have to do nothing. You might find a man who's gonna cater to you and do the most. If you could find him to do that, and that's what you want, and you getting it, well, I can't be mad at that. I mean, I ain't gonna even call him a simp. That's his choice. Everybody has their choice to make. You could choose to be a simp, or you choose not to. You could choose to be stupid or not. That's on you. If you choose that, then long as you know the consequences, and you don't get mad when it all falls apart. When she take all your money and leave you, don't be on social media complaining. To go deal with it like a man. Go just deal with it. Just realize what you was getting yourself into. That's all. All I'm saying is make a choice and stick with it, regardless to the outcome. If you made that choice, you got to understand there are certain consequences associated with it. And if you get hit with she took it all from you, don't handle it like a man and keep it pushing. Because you put yourself in that position for that to happen, because you didn't see it. This is what they're saying about what's his name? What's that little young athlete married to that little Leanne girl? What is his name? Child, I'll be forgetting these people's names. They're saying this woman is out here already crying and upset because she don't really want to be with him. And he done married her and did all this, and I don't think they have a prenup, and she's already setting herself up to walk away. And so, that's just something he gonna have to deal with. There's nothing anybody else can do about it. Jamil says, the voice changes got me rolling, LOL. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I'm glad you like it. Travis. Yes, Travis Hunter. People are saying this girl out here crying already. She's depressed because she don't really want to be with him. That girl don't really like that dude. I feel bad for him in a way, but at the same time I don't, because he's an adult and he's making the choice that he's clearly made it clear. This is why I stopped talking about it, because I'm like, he could be my son, and he's clearly made his decision. If I was his mother, I would have told him my thoughts about it, but you can't choose for him. You got to let him go through it. So he gonna have to go through it and see for himself, and hopefully he can learn from it. And the consequences of that would be he's going to lose out on a lot of money, and he's going to be heartbroken, and hopefully he can recover from that, because once he really sees this young woman for who she really is he's going to be hurt, because he don't see it the way everybody else is seeing it. And sometimes you could tell people, like I said, you can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. So that means you can give them all the information, give them the signs, show them the signs. If they don't see it, they're not going to see it until it's right in front of them. Till she's leaving, taking his money and showing him her true nature, then he gonna have to see it that way. And unfortunately, it's gonna hurt, but he can move on. You know what I'm saying? So you can foresee something, but you can't make people see what you see. And as parents, you have a little bit more experience and you have a little bit more knowledge and insight, because you've been here longer. So you can see certain things that they may not can see it. Even if you've taught them and raised them a certain way, sometimes you can't control every aspect of what your child chooses to do, no matter how well you raise them. You could raise them to understand these things, but they still could be in a situation where they just don't see it, and they're going to make their own decisions. And sometimes you got to step back, because you can't force them. And you got to just let the train wreck happen so they can learn from it and heal from it and grow, and hopefully not make that decision again, or make that mistake again. So, yeah. So, it's just what it is. Lorenzo says, hey, DeeDee, would you allow one of your sons to date a single mother? No, hell no. And my sons don't want to date single mothers. My sons have met single mothers, and they're like, oh, hell no. She was trying to talk to me and she had 2 kids. I say, what? My sons are like, hell no, they're not ready to take. They trying to take care of themselves. They understand. They trying to build their money up and take care of themselves. They young. They in their 20, young to early, 20s. They trying to. They working and taking care of them, trying to build their stack their cash. They ain't got time to take it. They understand it. See, they not. They're like, nah, I don't want no. They already like that. They was like telling me about the young ladies that they met. I mean, they meet women all the time, and he was like, majority of them have kids. I'm like, what? The conversations are hilarious. They're like, man, he met this one girl, and this white and black. It ain't just black women now, y'all. It's all women. They done met white women who are single mothers, black women who are single mothers. One woman, my son said she got 2 kids, and she was trying to holler at him, and he was like, "Nah, we could be friends, but nah, I'm not trying to." She gave him. I hope I'm not putting him on blast, but she gave him her number. He's like, I ain't, only time because I think they work together. He was like, yeah, I ain't trying to call her. He was like, if it's work related, okay, cool. But she got 2 kids. It was funny as shit. Yeah, and they like, nah, they not interested at. They want children. My sons want to be married, and they want kids, but they like not right now. They not rushing for that. Trust. They're not rushing for that because they trying to work and stack their cash. They focus on themselves. They're not, they've met young women, different ones, and all these women be trying to throw themselves at them. They are really not focused on that at all. They trying to figure out how to take care of themselves before, and they just they don't want no single mothers. They do not. They straight up do not, because they look, they're older. So, and my youngest is 8. So they've watched us, raise like my younger ones, and they see what it takes to watch a kid, and you know what I'm saying, and to what you got to feed a baby. They watched us, raise the little ones, so they know what all has to go into taking care of a child, and they don't want no parts of it, not now, and they definitely don't want no single mothers. They want to have their own children, and they saying not now. It's like later. So they're not interested. They are not. So I'm grateful for that. Urban Hunt, thank you so much for the super chat. Says the power of a 2-parent home. Your sons were raised right. Thank you for that, Urban. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the support. Jamil says women are angry because simps are finally waking up. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I say all the time, Jamil. They are mad because, it's like, what's the example I could use? It's like, if you had a person who you were able to take advantage of, if you had a friend, say if it was a woman, thank you, Jamil, I appreciate you. If you had a friend, that was your platonic friend, like if a woman had a male friend, that was just her platonic friend, she done friend zoned him, right? And she don't have a man. And every time she, they were just friends, cool, they would hang out, all that kind of stuff. But every time she needed something done, she would call that male friend and he would do it for her, right? Secretly, with dealing with women and men, if a man is your platonic friend, more than likely he likes you more than just friends, but you're not really into him like that. But he's just hanging around hoping you change your mind. So that's your friend. And the example is, okay, when you need your tire got a flat, you can call him up and say, okay, friend, can you come fix my tire? He's like, yeah, I got that for you. Yeah. He wouldn't do it because he really like you. He would really like a relationship with you, but you friends on him because you don't really like him like that. So every time you call him, he's available. He come fix your tire. Okay, thank you, friend. All right. And keep it moving while she dating other niggas and everything. But he's still in her corner because he really like her. But he'll take the friend zone for now, thinking she's going to change. Every time you need, could I borrow a few dollars? I need something, my child. Sometimes they have children, my child. And he's always available, helping you out. Till one day he realized, she's not really into me. She ain't going to really want me. And he'll wake up. Maybe he watched some red pill videos, or his mama told him, "Oh, you're doing too much." Because if I was the mother, I would tell him, "Oh, hell no, you shouldn't be doing that." But he got to get it in his own time, and then he realized, "Oh shit, she's just using me. She want me to." There was a woman on YouTube who had this very Example, the guy she was friend zoning met a woman, and then the woman he was with said, "Nah, I'm uncomfortable with you doing stuff for her because we together." And he cut her off, and she was pissed because now she don't have nobody to do all these things for her just because she knows he like her, but she don't like him. She's not interested. But so that's what happens when he finally wakes up or finds a woman who really is into him and drop her like a bad habit. Then she gonna get pissed. Why? Because these free resources are going away. That's equivalent to these women out here who are trying to use men. When the men wake up and realize what you're doing and walk away, oh yeah, you're gonna get mad. Yeah, because you can't continue to use them now. You can't use them like you were doing. You gotta find some other simp or figure it out for your damn self. You know, these men are waking up and saying, "No, I'm not gonna be be here for you to use and take advantage of. I know you don't really like me because you ask me to do too much without showing any love or anything back. You just want me to be your provider, you know, your all of this, and that's it. And I get to call you or talk to you here and there. That's it. They don't even want them intimately or anything. They screwing somebody else and getting in the ones they're screwing don't want to do anything for them. So you using him to do everything for you while you go out and try to find somebody else. That's crazy. No, men are tired of this shit. And so shout out to them for waking up and realizing the game, because it's a game. These women are playing games, and a lot of these men are recognizing the game at this point. Yeah, so they are mad. You get mad when the jig is up and they realize the truth. So you start trying to shame them. Oh, well, they don't care. These men are saying, okay, shame us. We don't give a damn. Jamil says these women be choosing heavy. These women be choosing heavy if you childless. Child. Thank you, Jamil. Once again, I appreciate you. That's crazy though. Mauricio 91 says, and the women will demonize you more than the baby daddy for not helping her with her terrible plans. That's a fact. They do it all the time. You got 3 baby daddies, and none of them are doing anything for you or them kids. And then you meet a man and you mad at him because why wouldn't you want to come and help a single mother out? Go get your baby goddamn daddies. Why they ain't helping you out with their kids? If you got 3 of them, then that's 3 ninjas that could come and help you out. 3 times the resources. Go hound them up and get pissed at them for knocking you up and not want to help you make sure that your kids have a stable home and food to eat. That ain't nobody else's responsibility. Go hit them up. Thank you, Mauricio. I appreciate you. Jamil also says it's men's fault if they're stuck in the friend zone. Well, I mean, hell, you got a point there. And I think in the past that I think a lot of men didn't realize they were in the friend zone at first. But it's 2025. If a woman is, she's not, and they'll usually tell you, I'm not really ready for a relationship right now, but I like you. You're cool. Women have mixed signals. See, men are more straightforward. Women, we got mixed signals. I ain't really ready for a relationship, but you're cool though. I like you. Maybe we can just be friends for right now. And he like, okay, cool. Cause he like her. So he like, okay, all right. Thinking, she's gonna come around. No, that means when you hear a woman say that means she don't fucking like you. Oh, I'm so sorry. That cuss word came out. My bad, y'all. I'm trying not to cuss. That means she don't like you. She just want to use you. And when she knows that you like her, she's going to take advantage. That's it. So that's how you know when you're friend zone. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you. Zookeeper says simps waking up is like an abused person escaping abuse from their captors. Waking up and realizing that this is abuse. Right. Exactly. Thank you, Zookeeper, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah. I mean, once you realize what's going on, you walk away and then they get pissed because they can no longer take advantage. They got to find a new way. Jamil once again says single mom pursuing you is a black man canon event. Oh, wow. Dang. Thank you, Jamil. Thank you so much. I appreciate you once again. Yeah, that's crazy, y'all. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. All right, I want to move on, y'all, to another video. Now, this one, I want y'all to hear what this lady had to say, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I don't know if she's some type of coach or something, but we see a lot of them springing up, but Yeah, let's listen to this.
And a lot of y'all gonna end up single and alone at the end of your life too. I know y'all out here saying that it's hard for women to get married. It's hard for some of y'all to get married too. Because the women that God has for you, you overlooking them. You keep shooting your shot at women that don't even want you because you ain't got everything you supposed to have together. I'm going to say it because y'all don't really understand. Y'all try to say women going to end up lonely. A lot of you men are going to die single and alone because you will not let God work on your heart. You won't level up. The type of women you want, you don't even have the emotional intelligence to deal with them, the relational intelligence. You don't have the integrity. You don't have the leadership, and you shooting for that woman. But y'all won't talk about the ones that you shot for and they let you down and they told.
Well, I think men have talked about that. I think the focus is too much on the men, in my opinion. This could be said the same for the women. And I think when we talk about these conversations, we need to address both the women and the men. I think women are easily ready to pounce on the men without addressing women. Women are emotionally, they don't have any emotional intelligence themselves. A lot of these women are confused, batshit crazy, don't know what they want. They're going after the wrong men. They're picking the wrong men to have children with and then complaining about all men. These women want unrealistic things from a man. There are men who have leveled themselves up, but the women don't qualify for them. Let's talk about the men who have emotional intelligence and the men who have their things together, but they can't find suitable women to be with because all of these women are cooked. And a lot of them are delusional and facially challenged and overweight. If we're going to pull out, and I would agree that there are men who are lacking in this area. See, I'll agree with that. See, I'm not going to push back on that. I'm going to agree that there are men like that, but that's not all of them. And the women are not going for the men who have the emotional intelligence because you know why? They are not mentally prepared for that. Let's talk about the men that are available and have their things together. The men who are out here looking for women who aren't already single baby mamas, who don't understand what a good man's it looks like, doesn't understand what he brings to the table. She's intimidated by him because she knows she's a baby mama. She don't have the emotional intelligence. She doesn't have her ish together. So she's intimidated by him and want to call him gay and say he's this and he's that, and he's not her type. See, these women like to keep talking and they just talk themselves into a corner. And they don't know how to get themselves out. See, the focus is always on the man to level up because you don't want to focus on the negative aspect of a lot of these women and how they're lacking. What about the men who have all this together? He thinks he's better than me. No, because you don't want a man who's actually leveled up because you're the insecure one. You're the one who feels less than when you come across a man who actually has it together. Because you know you don't measure up. So you want to keep yourself right in that pool of the Pookies because you know you might be a little bit above Pookie so you can keep on pushing that narrative. Oh, the men need to level up. No, you feel special and leveled up against Pookie because he ain't got shit. But for the men who do have stuff and have more standards and require more, you feel less than yourself. He ain't got to put you down. If he can speak better, he knows he has a good job. He knows what he wants. He knows what he doesn't want. He's not going to accept the bare minimum from you. He don't want a baby mama. So automatically now you feel less than, and you trying to say, just like that video of that woman trying to call that man out because he don't want to date her because she's a single mother. Oh, you think you're better. No, he just has standards that you don't qualify for. You don't measure up to him and you're mad. So the only way they could try to win these arguments is to keep on talking about low-level men who ain't trying to do nothing because that's who the women go after because that's their level. And even if you go out and get a degree and make some money, mentally, you're still not on the level of a man who's leveled up and a man who has standards and wants certain types of women. You still don't measure up. So they don't really want to, compare apples to apples. You want to keep talking about the bottom of the barrel because, women, if they got a job, hell, they make $20 an hour, or they might be better than a Pookie because he don't have a job, right? Or he might work at Walmart, or he might not have no job at all. He might, sell drugs or something. And so you think you're better than him because you got an apartment, you got a job, you got a car. He don't have that. So you can always put him down. You can always say, oh, these men don't want to level up based off of him. But like, that's not the only men that are out here. You're comparing yourself to those levels of men. So yeah, you always gonna be on top of that. But when it comes to men who actually have it together, you don't compare. And that's what they don't want to talk about. That's what they really don't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all of this is subjective. It depends on who you're comparing to. Yeah, you comparing to Pookie, you might be a step ahead of him, but you comparing it to a man who actually has his stuff together, has all, has standards and looking for a certain type of woman. He don't have all these baby mamas all over the place. Oh, now you're intimidated by him. See, Irving, what's going on? See, Irving, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much for being here. It says DeeDee ain't lying. Dope topic tonight. Thank you. I appreciate you. See, Irving. Let's continue, child, because
told you no thank you. Y'all not ready to talk about the women that told you no thank you because you wasn't on her level. It's a woman that you shot for, sir. And when she denied you and shot you down, now you mad at all the other women and trying to dog them and give them self-esteem issues. Oh, I see y'all out there on the internet streets dogging women. This why y'all don't never get married. Y'all gonna be single forever. Sir,
my ass. These men ain't dogging women. Y'all just don't like to hear the truth. They're not calling you every name in the book and dogging you out. No, they're telling you the truth because your attitudes, a lot of these women attitudes, their unrealistic expectations is why they will be single. Come on now. Just because somebody tell you the truth don't mean they dogging you out. You're just not ready for the truth. And I do agree that if women don't get it together and they don't realize the errors of their ways, then there will be a lot of men that's single. But remember, we have way more women than there are men. So it's going to be way more women out here by themselves than men. And then a lot of men have more options than women because there are more of y'all out there. And they're not just Black women. There are other races of women too that men are starting to find themselves dating other races of women as well. But we already see that Black women in particular have it harder when it comes to dating interracially. A lot of Black women aren't finding it much easier to date out than Black men. There are a group of women who actually prefer Black men. And as much as women try to compete with that, they're failing. They're failing. Black men are easy, it's easier for Black men to date out than it's easy for Black women to do it successfully. We're talking about successfully, not because you just went on a date, because they let you know when they go on a date with a white man. Oh, I went on a date with a white man. They be so happy. Like they ain't never seen a white man in their entire lives, child. They be so happy, like, oh, I'm leveling up. And then turn around, oh, he was an alcoholic. Shit. Oh my God, he was sober. He's still drinking. He drank my drinks too. Shit. He said he not interested in anything serious. Not that, I'm dating a white man goes to, oh, yeah. He ain't mine. This ain't my Brad. And go from, oh, I'm dating a white man, y'all, to ain't what I thought he was. I got to start over. Them men don't want y'all. There are some successful interracial relationships out here, marriages. There are. I don't care if you're green, black, purple, blue. I don't care who you date. If you find love, you find love. Love is love. And if it's working for you, God bless you. But they be so happy that they date no white man. They just forget all, he ain't got to have swag. He ain't got to be 6 feet tall. He don't got to be nothing but white. And they ready to risk it all. This always, and I got a video coming up about that too, actually. I got a few videos coming up about women divesting and realizing they done met all kind of strangeness and realized this ain't what they want. Yeah. Which I think is insane to think that just because somebody is a different race that they're just supposed to be the creme de la creme. Like, come on now, you got to be stupid and insane to think that just because somebody has a different color on their skin, that's going to make them perfect and all and everything to you. Come on now, educated women, y'all got to do better. You got to do better. Mauricio 91, thank you for the super chat, says there is no ego on earth as big and terrible as I guess what African-American woman's ego and pride. Not you though, D. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mauricio, for the super chat. Baby, it's but they realizing, but when they realize what's really happening, a lot of times they don't like to speak on it because it makes them seem like they're wrong. And Black women hate to be wrong. They got to be right 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
So are you. Sir, so are you. With that stubborn, prideful mentality, thinking that you are better than every woman out here and that you are the prize. Sir, you going to be alone and single too in your elderly years. So stop going after women talking about all y'all single women. Some of you men are single because you can't get the woman you want neither.
Well, I mean, so that means we're equal, right? There are women and men out here who won't get the person they want because neither one is, realistic about what it is that they need versus what they want. And so, well, there'll be more single women than men because there are more women than men. They talk about men being in the nursing homes. That's an argument that they keep going back and forth with whether there's more men in the nursing homes than women. There are some who say statistics show that there are more single women in the nursing homes than men because there are more women than men. And then the women like to argue that, oh no, I see a whole bunch of men in the nursing homes. And I worked in a nursing home years ago for one day. That's all I could do. One day. Baby, I couldn't take it at the time. I think I was 17, 18. I worked in a nursing home for one day. I couldn't do it. It scared the shit out of me. I don't know why. I just said I couldn't do it. One day, my aunt worked there and helped me get on, where she was working one day. And I will say that there were, even then, and that was a long time ago, there were more women than men in that nursing home. Now that I think about it, all races, more white people than Black. There was a small percentage, like society. There was a small percentage of Black women in there, more white women. There were white men, small percentage of Black men. There was more white women in there. It wasn't even a bunch of Black people, period. To be honest with you, it was mostly white women in that particular nursing home. It wasn't a lot of Black people at all. So it was, a lot of old white women and a couple of men, and then even the men in there were white. The small percentage of men were white and maybe one Black man that I saw. And I remember the Black man because they say he'll hit you. It's a nurse. They say he was a big, tall Black man. He would come out and just start hitting people. And that's why I quit. Because I'm like, oh, hell no, I was scared. I was young and crazy. I'm like, oh no, baby, I'm not subjecting myself to this. I don't need this job. They say he would walk out and just start swinging. And I'm like, oh, that's a big Black man. And these people were, I don't know, some of the people would spin on you, or some of them were old racist and they still had that racist mentality. They just couldn't walk and stuff like that. And I'm just like, and I was just scared. So I was like, oh no. When I realized what it was, I'm like, oh no. And I walked right out that door and went home. I'm like, oh no, not that. But that's just my experience. But I realized it was more white women in there than anybody. Very few Black people, period. So that's that. But yeah, I just think, once again, the narrative is always focused on men when women are the majority and, women are the ones, they outnumber men, and women are the ones, in my opinion, who think that they're better than men. We just watched that other video from tonight's conversation. From It's Complicated podcast, where you see how women think. Oh, they think they're better than men. That's just what it is. So the stuff that these women are trying to push to cater to women is just lies. Why not be real and balanced about it? Yes, there are some men who may think that way, but there are a lot of women who do too. So how, with that happening, how is that going? How are we going to get to to a solution to help the relationships between men and women? How are we going to fix it? Just acknowledging that, oh, they're going to be single men and women out here and they're going to be alone and die alone. That's not going to fix the situation. What is the overarching problem as to how we get into this position in the first place? Why? Because women started working and making money and thought that they were better than men. And they feel entitled and they make money, but they don't want to spend it when it comes to a man. They don't think that they should put money into a man or a relationship. They think a man is supposed to just cater to them, no matter. And they want traditional relationships with men, but they're not traditional women. So they want the beneficial aspect of a man, but they don't want the man to get any benefits from them. Why? Because they don't believe that's a man should benefit from a woman. This is why they try to push the idea that, oh, marriage only benefits a man. He gets a living nanny. He gets a maid. He gets they're trying to say he gets a prostitute. Basically, he get a woman that, he paying for her to live, but he get the cooch all the time. So he's benefiting 100% of the time. And, there's nothing she gets from it. But I'm like, okay, so why are you married to him then? You didn't marry him because you loved him. You didn't marry him because you wanted to be with him sexually too. Like, what are y'all doing? And this is a result of women who are going out here looking for men solely based on money and provisions. So you just only with them for the provisions. You don't really care about him. You're not really attracted to him physically. So you mean to tell me you don't have, and we see that this is an argument because a lot of these women don't even want to have sex with their husbands. So these men are in sexless marriages, a lot of them. And they're talking about women are too. Why? Because if you are, then that means you're not attracted to him sexually. You don't want to sleep with him because you're not attracted to him. Why would you marry a man that you're not physically attracted to? You don't want sex with your husband? That's a two-way street now. But they talk and act like, oh, it's just a man getting something from y'all clearly want, what he got down there. Because if not, y'all be getting it from other places. So either you just not attracted to him and you only married him for provisions, and now you complain about it? No, why? So y'all gotta acknowledge y'all part. That's the problem with going after somebody just for money. You don't really want them. You're not attracted to them. You just see the money and then you're cheating on him. But that's okay for a woman because, women, he must have did something to her. It's always the assumption that a man had to do something to a woman to make her cheat or make her do the shit she doing. No, she did it because she wanted to. She got into a relationship with a man she really didn't want or was never attracted to, and now you try to blame it on him. So come on now, sex and all that's a mutual thing. You want something too. It's not supposed. Come on. So they tripping, and they be tripping on many different levels. Jamil 843, thank you once again, says, especially if they African, love them white boys. Oh God. Jamil, don't start that, because that's a whole, listen, there's a lot going on out here in these streets with the Africans and FBAs, baby. That's still a conversation that I'm gonna have some new videos posted up about that still, because I still want to touch on that, because I still see some shady stuff out here, y'all. So make sure y'all hit the like on those videos when they do come out. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you, child. It's just a mess, though. Let's move on. So I want to move on to this other clip that I have, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it. Make sure you are hitting the like button, y'all. Please, we got 133. Okay, we got the likes up. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for the likes. Listen to this.
Do you think you'll ever be married? Or do you want to be married?
To me, marriage comes when you find the right person. It just comes, it just happens. I will never ever stamp a woman being like, marriage is my goal. Right. You don't have any other goals. You don't have any other goals. It's good. It's good to want to be a wife, to want to be a helpmate. I'm sure. I don't shit on it, but it's like when I see a lot of the times this question being asked to women, that's their only goal. And a lot of the times we feel so unfulfilled and we settle because from a young age, our goal wasn't to own a successful business or a nonprofit or to do any of that, to get an education and to teach young women how to do this and that. Our goal is to be somebody's wife and to be somebody's mother. And then when we get that and we're unfulfilled and we're not happy, a lot of us are shocked. I thought this was it. I thought this was my key. I thought this would end my pursuit. Like, no, you know, not all the time, not for everyone. So is it a goal of mine? If it happens, it'll happen.
Amen.
If God says, God willing, inshallah.
Now, listen, if that, you know, that's her perspective, that's her perspective, that's how she feels, that's how she feels. My thing is this: when you are single and childless and you understand the importance of marriage and relationships with a man, and you're looking to build a family with a man, then your goal is going to be getting a husband and building a family. Is that your only goal as a woman? No, it doesn't have to be your only goal. My question is, when I hear stuff like this, my question is this: why is it that when it comes to Black women, your only goal, that, you know, the idea is that you can't be a wife, a mother, and still have other aspirations and dreams and things that you pursue? Every other race of people have done it. I don't understand it. I don't understand. I mean, your number one priority, and you know, for some, is to get married and build a family with your husband, because you know that your younger years is the prime time to do so. So quite naturally, if you understand this and you want to actually build something solid with a man, have a husband and build a family, you got to start younger. So your 20s is the years to do that. It doesn't mean that when you start at that age that that's the only goal you'll ever have in life. I think women who have not attained it, they speak in that way. No, women who want marriage and want family, they go after that. They prioritize it in the times that they should. The best years to have your kids is in your 20s. The doctor told it to me, to my face. And matter of fact, congratulated me on us having our kids close together, because that's how they think. And then they proceed to say, well, me and my wife, we have 4 and we had them back to back because we want them all to grow up together. See, in other cultures, that's how they do it. But when it comes to Black people, it's shunned upon to have a big family. First of all, you know, that is crazy. That how dare you, as a Black couple, y'all have a big family like that? They look at that as a problem. I literally heard a woman say she think that women who have a lot of children with their husbands is being abused. And I say, oh, they cooked. Oh, they cooked. They burnt, honey. They ain't just cooked, they burned. They burnt up crispy, okay? You know how it gets so burned and black till it falls, disintegrates? They're disintegrating with the way they're thinking. But this is why a lot of people in our community are at the bottom. So it's just mind-boggling for when I hear women who say this, as if you can't. There are so many doctors in other races and of people who are married, have children, and they have careers. If that is what is agreed upon in your household with you and your husband, y'all determine how you want this to work, how you want your lives to look. But there are dentists, nurses, doctors, lawyers who have husbands and they have children. Some of them started their careers, attempted to start their careers young. Then they end up meeting what would be their husbands. And then they put their careers on pause to raise a family while the husband continues to work. Or in some cases, it's the wife that works and the husband stays at home with the kids and work from home. There are many different dynamics that prove that this could work if you want it. There are women who put their careers on hold to become mothers and raise their families. They decide on how many kids they want to have, and they have them back to back. We want 3. Or they have 3 back to back. Get those kids to school age or to an appropriate age that they agree upon, and then they go back to work, go back to their practice, or go pursue this and pursue that, and they work it out. So I think you can have it all. I said this, but not all at the same time. But what we're taught in the Black community is go out, get your career, focus on yourself. Don't worry about a man. Go to college, get your degree. And so they're not worried about a man, but they still end up becoming single mothers in the midst of it. So now you got to take care of these kids, go to work, build yourself up, which you put yourself at a disadvantage. So you do that, focus on that. Then by the time you're 40, you can't Now your expectations of somebody that told you you need to have X, Y, Z. And now your expectations are unrealistic. And now you want a husband, but you already created a broken home. Now these men don't want that. So now you're complaining, but you didn't go about it the right way. So I just think it's always a question or issue if whether you want to be married and whether you should prioritize marriage and family over career and jobs. A lot of women prioritize careers and all that, and they still complaining. Now they mad and crying because they don't have a family. What about the women who did decide to go out and work and go to college, get their degrees, and now they're saying, I got the money and I got the car and I got the house, but I don't have a family. I don't have a husband. I don't have any kids. They're depressed too, right? It didn't go the way they thought it was going to go either. So on one hand, we clearly see women who are boss chicks complaining about not having husbands and families. They're mad about it. And this is all races of women. But the women, then there are women who are married and you can still do other things. You have to put your priorities in order, in my opinion. What is it that's most pressing? What is it to you that is most important? For some people, that's their career. Some people, that's the family. To me, I would tell any young woman who wants marriage and family, prioritize that first. You can go to college if that's what you need to do, but understand you need to be looking for a husband so that y'all can build a life together. Talk to the person. See if y'all have certain things in common, if y'all looking for the same things. And prioritize that first. That way you don't miss your window of creating that family. And then if you want to pursue other things outside of that, you certainly can. I think when women say, no, I want to prioritize a family and a husband first, it doesn't mean that they don't have other aspirations and other dreams. And you can certainly do that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that just because you get married and have children that all is lost. You can't do anything else. That's not true. And I'm a living witness of it. You can actually pursue goals or passions and other things in your life. It's just you have to figure out what is more pressing and what is most important to you. To me, I think you can always start a career, start a business. Your family, that's not something that you may always be able to do because as women, we have a biological clock. And as you get older, your chances of creating that family become lesser and lesser and lesser. So you might want to focus on that. If you find the right man who wants the things that you want, you build with him and you start there. And then there are other things that you can passionately go after once your family is secure. But a lot of these women think you got to do one or the other, and they don't think that that it can happen. But it can. So you just got to figure out what it is you want. And far too often, these women go after the job. And look, once again, I'm not oblivious to the fact that, hey, y'all ain't most of us aren't born into rich families. So you got to work. As a young woman, you got to go get a job and take care of yourself. So I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's the mentality that comes with it. You can go work and take care of yourself, go to college, whatever you feel you need to do to make sure you're stable. But you also got to keep in mind that if you want a family and you want a husband, you need to be working on that while you're doing that. You can do both. You can work and still go and find a man, but if you go out thinking, I don't need a man, I need to focus on what to do me, well, that's why you end up without one, but you end up screwing somebody because y'all make babies. And then you still want that husband to come in and then do the most at the end on the back end of it. That's the problem. It's the mentality. I say it all the time. You got to know what it is that you want. Understand that you got to work with each other. It's not just a man coming. You can't, that ain't working. That ain't working for y'all. Jamil A43 says Ronald Reagan in hell smiling. He cooked us. He cooked them. He didn't cook me. Yeah, I remember Ronald Reagan. He didn't cook me, baby. I understand the importance of a man. These women could go out here and think you don't need a man, but child, all right. Because I know if I see a spider, I'm not trying to kill it. Hell, I'm calling my husband if he around, or one of my sons, even go kill it. I'm not trying to kill no goddamn spider. I don't like bugs. Hell, now I could kill one now. Don't get me wrong. If I see it on the floor and it's not up high, okay, yeah, I'll slap it if I see one. Up high, something in the corner, you know how you open the door and they have a spider. We're in Texas, so they're spiders. The black ones that are what are they, poisonous or whatever? Ooh. Child, I don't want to go nowhere near it. I'm just saying, and I ain't reducing the man to killing a bug, but I'm just saying there are certain things that I don't want to do as a woman that I don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to deal with certain things because my husband handled those things willfully. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to force him to do none of it. And it's a natural thing. He ain't scared of bugs. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, there's a whole bunch of other things that I don't want to do as a woman. So I understand the importance of men and how beneficial and how necessary they are. I'm just saying. So I don't know how women be playing these games. Thank you, Jamil. Once again, I appreciate you. Zookeeper. My grandmother would say, they are just spoiled rotten with no discipline along the way. Exactly. But how do they get spoiled like that? I mean, you have some of the most entitled women who come from the darkest, seediest, most backgrounds. Like they have never been privy to a good man at all. Some of the people who've come from the deep, darkest gutters ain't never seen a good man do nothing for nobody. And then they come out here thinking that they need a millionaire. How you get that thought process? How you become entitled? When you ain't never seen nobody do nothing for your mama, for you, and nobody around you. Y'all had to take shopping carts and go down the street. You know, I mean, get your groceries out the store and put them in a shopping cart and push it all the way home. You ain't never seen no man do nothing for nobody, and you come out entitled. You ain't never seen more than $1,000, and you thinking that a rich man was supposed to come and rescue you. How did you get that entitlement in your mind when you come from the brokest of the broke? It's the brokest of the broke who are the most entitled. The most facially challenged broke of the broke is the ones who expect the most from a man. I think they're just throwing shit out there and seeing what sticks. If they could throw it out there and somebody gonna stick and somebody gonna believe that and take it, oh, that's a win-win for them. They're just throwing it out there and see if y'all gonna pick it up. Thank you, Zookeeper. I appreciate you. You know, they just trying to see how stupid or gullible men are. You know, let's see if we could just, you know, I'm 500 pounds. Let me see if he gonna listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm 500 pounds, girl. Girl, I'm so windy, girl. I can't go up the motherfucking steps, you know, but ooh, girl, I want me a man, girl. He got to have a 6-pack. I'm just saying. That's how they be talking. Girl, let's see if I'm going to get this fine man. He going to call me bad, girl. Ooh, girl, what you want to eat? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all you do is eat. And you could barely walk, barely breathe, and you trying to get you a fine. And them be the ones, once again, most unrealistic, most you know, delusional. I want a man with a 6. Ooh, he fine as hell. You want one of them, the stripper men, the men who are all muscly, who go to the gym for real. Like you want to ripped up and you 500 pounds. Once again, we talked about this before. You think this man ripped up gonna let your big 500-pound ass get on top of him? What we said before, and break your pelvis. We talked about that before. This big old woman broke the man pelvis, they said. Now, they told me this story. I didn't know that about it. You think this man gonna risk lifting you up and break his whole goddamn body? He's strong, but he ain't that strong. You know what I'm saying? With your lymphodemas on your goddamn legs and stuff, big as hell. Like, what you think people want that? You think a man who is in the gym all the time gonna want you? He can't pick you up without risking his life. Y'all got to stop. It's not realistic. It's delusional, and delusional is not good, in my opinion. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I want to get into this next video, the last clip for you guys. This is from the Kendra G. This is another delusional situation that we see on a daily basis, y'all. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Here we go. Child.
Young Claire Huxtable, I love her. Hey, baby.
Oh, she's so fine.
Hey, you looking snatched? Okay, yeah. Crystal. So Crystal's been on the show, on the online show 2 times. And her very first time, as we mentioned here, she said she wanted a man that made $1 million.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what's that for? Is that?
That's a fine cougar right there. You fine, Crystal. Yes, sir. You know, yeah.
All right, we got Crystal. Now, Crystal's actually been on my show before. Crystal, what part of Chicago are you representing, girl?
I'm representing the Southeast Side, South Shore.
Southeast Side. Crystal, how old are you?
I'm 53 years old.
53 and fine. You have
Thank
any
you.
kids?
I have 3 adult children.
3 adult children. That's right. Mamas want me to make sure they know they don't got kids. They got adult children. How old are your 3 adult children?
I have a 30-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 19-year-old. 24 and 19. I'm sorry. They just turned it.
24 and 19. 24 and
Yep.
19. All by the same man?
2 different ones. My oldest child has a separate father than the other 2.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
Never been married.
Never married. And what you do for a living, Crystal?
I am a realtor and a business owner.
Realtor and business owner. All right, Crystal, what kind of man you looking for?
I'm looking for a man that understands how they want to interact with the woman in their life. So I'm looking for a man that wants to treat me very, very well and that I can reciprocate the same in return.
Okay. Now, Crystal's been on the show before. And Crystal, Crystal kind of, they was coming for Crystal because Crystal had a high money requirement. So do you want to reset? What was your money requirement, Crystal?
So when I first came on the show, I said that I wanted a millionaire. And in my opinion, I don't think that that is a very difficult achievement to place yourself in the room of.
Now, she said it's not a difficult it's not difficult to place yourself in the room of millionaires. Okay, that might be the case depending on she's a realtor. Okay, yeah. So it's I'm pretty sure she's been in rooms of millionaires. And I don't think she's probably been in several rooms with a bunch of millionaires if she's a realtor. Yeah, that's not shocking. But what is shocking, how I forget she's old enough. I think she's 52. I forget her age. But what is shocking and very telling is that if you've been in these rooms with these millionaires and none of them chose you, none of them was interested in you for serious relationships enough to marry you and build a life with you, then that tells you all you need to know. It's not just the idea that you're in the vicinity of these men, these rich men. It's whether they are looking at you for serious relationships or not. Do you pique their interest? Are you what they want? Because if you're around them, see, it's one thing if you have not been, in a position to be around these men, because you'll never know. If you're not in the vicinity of these rich men, you won't know if you're their choice or not until you're around them. So if you get the opportunity to be in the vicinity of these men with all this money and you still come out with not one of them, then that says everything about you. That means they don't want you. So that even proves more that if you are able to be around these men and none of them said, "Ooh, she fine. Ooh, I like her. Ooh, she look good. Let me get her." Then they're not checking for you. Jamil says the hatred of men is hereditary. Jesus Lord. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. That means they're not checking for you, boo. So touting that you've been able to be in a circle of these men and you didn't snag one of them just says more and more about you to me. What y'all think? Let's continue.
Because when you're looking for something, you're supposed to place yourself in whatever it is that you want for yourself, and you're supposed to know what you deserve and what you want. So I didn't know that it would ruffle so many feathers to say that I was looking for a millionaire. I don't think that anyone can put a determination on what you should want to impact your life. You should want the best. So I didn't know it would ruffle so many feathers.
Right. Okay. So now is that still the money requirement for your boo?
I don't want to put a number on it because as I reflect back on that, I can admit to something. And I do think that might not have been the best thing to put out there. So I would just say that I'm looking for someone that has the ability and the desire to treat a woman extremely well. That would be, with a lot of respect, admiring the qualities that I bestow as a woman, what I can bring to the table to you and enhance your manhood. And in order for those things to happen, it requires a certain level of prestige.
Enhance your manhood. What the WTF? Enhance his man. What does that mean? Enhance his manhood. Like, girl, what millionaire needs you to enhance their manhood? How do you do that? Delusion. This is a 50-something-year-old woman. Like, really? You've been around these millionaires all this time, and none of them, you never got one that wants you to enhance their manhood. This is why you get a lot of backlash from this, because people aren't stupid. People realize what you're saying is delusional. It's not like you're a 20-year-old in your prime. You know, women are in their prime when they're younger. Like, you're a hot 20-year-old with no kids, and you're around these millionaires. I'm pretty sure you might could get one. If you're attractive and you're fit and you're feminine and you're speaking their language, oh yeah, you might could get one, especially if you're in the vicinity of them. But you think you're the same in your 20s versus your 50s? Hell to the no. No, they're delusional when they think like that. I think a lot of women don't think that they age. Don't think, it's easy for women to look at a man and say, oh, these men are balding and they're getting old. Girl, y'all too. Half y'all, some of you women are balding too, and y'all getting old. And, like I said, titties are starting to sag and all that too. Y'all got to go get enhancements to get y'all shit together too. Like, we all got to age. Ain't no, we all aging. Like, why is it that a lot of women think that they're not aging? Like getting older does not affect them. Like, there's, like somehow they're frozen in time, and the men are just getting old and bald and wrinkly, and the women are just sitting here just pristine, still looking like they're 20. That's a goddamn lie. I don't know. This is why I say delusional. We all aging. You notice things about yourself that were not like that when you were 20. Come on now. You may feel good and you might still look good, but it's still not the same. 50 and 20 is a big difference. Come on now. And for me, it's like, look, I have 20-something-year-old daughters, right? So I think I look pretty decent, but I know I'm not 20 when I look over at my 20-something-year-old daughters, okay? Put my 20-year-old daughter next to me and I look like the mama, because I am the mama, okay? Let's be realistic. I can look good, but I still look like the mama, right? It's like putting, what's that card they say? They say, your car, what's that car? What is it? What is the card? Jesus Christ. The 500, 800 or whatever they call it. It looked like a, damn, where my husband at? What's that car that looks like a, what's the car, y'all, that looks like a damn, what is it? A 500 or 800 or something. They say one of those cars look like that more expensive car until you see that car, and then you see the differences. You know what I mean? Well, yeah. So people may think you're 20 until the 20-year-old comes around. When you may think you're slender, which you can be, till the slim 20-year-old comes around. The 300, yes, thank you. Yeah, the 300 versus the Bentley, right. So it's like, they say the 300 looks like a Bentley, right? Until the Bentley shows up. And then you're like, okay, maybe it looked like it, but I know that's a Bentley. It's something a little different about that one. That looks a little bit better, right? To most. Yeah, so I think that's what they compare the Bentley with the 300, right? The 300 look like the Bentley till the Bentley shows up. Well, the 50-year-old looks like a 20-year-old till the 20-year-old shows up. I'm just saying. You could see the major difference. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. We have to age, we have to get older. But I think for the women who are older out here still trying to date, they don't see themselves as this older version. They still see themselves as the younger version. They still think they have the same appeal as they did when they were in their 20s. They don't separate. They think because in their minds they feel like as they get older they get better with time, but you're still aging. You could see the facial features, the slimness of how your face expand, your body expand. You know, when you was 20 years old, you were much slimmer, you look younger. It's just what it is. That's what aging is. But they don't see the older version. They still see themselves as the younger version. This is why they overinflate their value when it comes to dating. You know, they overinflate what they expect and what they want. And when they don't get it, they don't see that it's them. They still want to put it on the men. When a lot of these 50-year-old men don't want 50-year-old women. Now, we can be like, you know, that's crazy. We may not agree with it. I'm just saying, but it is what it is. Older men are getting themselves together because men, as they age, they get, how y'all said, they're in their prime as they get older because they build themselves up to that point. Our value is in our youth and you know, when you know, in our attractiveness. So when we're younger, we're most attractive to men then. As we get older, that kind of goes down. So this is why you will want to make sure that if you want this, now this is not for people. If you're saying, look, I don't want no man, okay, that's fine. That's your choice. But for the women who want men and want families, this is why you're supposed to prioritize it younger, because you're more fertile in your youth. You know, that's a more healthier time to have children, and men are more attracted to younger women. So if you can lock down a man who wants you and want to build and have a family with you, that's when the best time to do it. So for men, older men, they come into their, you know, prime as they get older. So because they're more established, they've worked on themselves, they build up their finances, all of that stuff. And typically younger women are usually more attracted to older men, as much as, you know, some people don't agree with this, the gap could be too far. Cause you know, for some, I think there should be some balance in there, but a lot of younger women like older men for the stability. So, you know, it just depends on your preference and what it is that you want. But I just think a lot of women don't see themselves. They don't see themselves the way men see them. And then when they don't get the outcome that they thought they felt and they should have gotten and what they thought they deserved, then they just blame the men instead of being more realistic and looking at themselves. Let's continue.
In order for that to actually manifest and take place, in my opinion. So I want someone that wants to travel the world, that likes to do fine dining, that really wants to have a soft life and give that to their woman.
Okay. Are you open to all races?
I'm definitely open to all races because I think when you are looking to achieve a certain caliber of lifestyle for yourself with someone in the process, I definitely think that you cannot limit yourself in doing that. And I think if you limit yourself to saying, I'm only going to date this race of people, I think that is limiting what you're trying to manifest.
Okay, Crystal. Let me ask you this question. So if you met a man and he was nice and kind, but couldn't afford to travel the world and for you guys to go to the finest restaurants, does this guy have an option? And if he doesn't, he doesn't. Just curious.
No, and in all honesty, maybe an option for a very good friendship. But as far as for my personal life, I'm just not looking for someone that I have to limit myself with. And if I could say this, Kendra, a lot of times it's like, well, you know, can you afford those things for yourself? Well, yes, I do. When I want to go to fine restaurants, I take myself there. When I want to go travel, I take myself traveling. So what I want, I present for myself, and that's what I want from someone else, is to enhance and do the same things that I'm interested in doing.
And there you have it. All right, Crystal, come on out so we can see your fine self in person. Zach, you gotta have $1 million in the bank.
I know. I want a millionaire too. We gonna find one together.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so Crystal, what is the challenge you think you're having with dating in Chicago?
I think the challenge that I'm having with dating in Chicago is that I'm honestly probably
delusional,
not taking advantage of the environments that I should.
Okay, so you need to go out more.
I need to go out more.
You need to go out more. So money really matters.
I definitely think that money matters. I don't think it should be the primary focus and the center of everything, because in the end, it's all about being loved, having companionship, having someone that you can spend the rest of your life with. But money matters. It just does. It's just a fact.
And for those I didn't ask it here, you have dated millionaire men in the past.
I have. I worked at the stock exchange, so that was my environment. So that was what I was around. So that's what I had.
Have you ever been married?
I've never been married.
Proposed to?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever been proposed to?
I was proposed to. I was engaged. I'll say I was engaged to my person I was with for many, many years.
Was he a millionaire?
He was a millionaire. He's made millions of dollars.
What happened?
What happened is just that we could not get on the same accord, the same page. It is very difficult to get someone on the same page when you're growing and developing together.
Child, that's a goddamn lie. When you are growing with someone together, that's the best time to figure it out. That's why I say delusional. Either they be lying or just lying. No, that's the whole point. What you mean? So you met a millionaire that proposed to you and y'all couldn't get on the same page? What are the details? I want to know what could y'all get on the same page about? So once again, and I think a lot of these women think it's a flex to say that, oh, I was proposed to by a millionaire, but I chose not to because we couldn't get on the same page about what? What did he want that you wasn't willing to give him? Because that's what it boils down to, if I believe that story. What is it that he wanted that you didn't want to give? Because he probably didn't want a boss chick. He probably if he's a millionaire, he probably wanted you to be a housewife or be at home and not be out in the workforce, and you refused to do that. You wanted to work. So it goes to show you, if you're in the vicinity of these millionaires and you got one to propose to you, there was still something wrong with him to you. So saying you want a millionaire and focus on that is not the fix. You had one who proposed to you and you didn't want it. Why? Y'all couldn't get on the same page about what? But it goes to show you it's not about the money. It's not about the money. So why, having that experience, why didn't she learn from it and say, you know what? It's not about a millionaire. He could be a real good man, and he could have, he takes care of himself and he makes good money, but he's just not a millionaire. But we have the things in common. We're on the same page. Why can't you go for him? Earlier, she said no. Then she said it's not about the money. But earlier, she said no, he has to. Money matters. But you don't have to be a millionaire to do really well for yourself. So you won't take a man who does really well for himself, and y'all have everything in common and y'all on the same page. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? So it's a contradiction. They contradict themselves. And that's the reason why they're by themselves. You want a man to do what you want him to do. That's the thing. You want a rich man that you can control. You want to control everything, every aspect of him. And most men in general are not going to let you do that. You're not going to let you do that. So is it a problem with the men, or is it the problem with you? So no rich man, no average man, no regular man ain't going to want to deal with you, period. So yeah, if you happy being by yourself, just be prepared for that. Let's continue and be content with it.
So that's what happened. He was living his life. He was out there making things happen for himself, meeting plenty of women and doing different things. And eventually you get tired of that and you want more.
I will say this, and I mean this candidly and not just to you. I mean this to everybody. Millionaires got hoes.
No, I was gonna.
Zach, tell the truth.
So I want to be honest when I say that. Millionaires got women.
So let's say
So
that,
let's
say that they have a variety and they have the pick of the meal for what they want.
Yeah.
I don't think we should call women hoes.
Yeah, that was just for emphasis.
I
No
understand,
disrespect.
but- No, he meant hoes.
No, well, let me ask you this question. With that being said, and this kind of is a part of the card game questions, I'm gonna give you this question.
Okay.
This is in the tell me the truth category.
Okay.
Would you enter an open relationship if your partner wanted to? So, if you found this man that had this money, but was honest and said, listen, you can't be my only girl, I'm gonna entertain at least 2 more, are you okay with that?
So my response would be, I'm okay with it as long as you're okay with me living my life at the same time.
So here's the deal. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be honest. This is a double standard. So I have millionaire men friends, and I'm gonna give you one example. They say
she want to be a part of a roster. She wanna, so you all this. That's why she ain't never been married. You want to be a part of a roster. You want a man who's gonna pay for your lifestyle, and he can have a bunch of women. So you want to be a part of a rich man's roster. That's all that is, with an allowance to pay your bills. How much your bills? How much your rent? How much this? How much the trips? You just want him to pay for a sponsor, and he can have a roster. So you don't really. Oh Lord Jesus Christ, Lord
Jesus Christ. She wanna be a part of a roster, y'all.
Yes, Lord. The truth shall set you free. Let's continue.
Hey, no, because if they're what I've been told is I'm gonna pay for my time. You're gonna get. This is a true story. One of my millionaire friends got 3 girls that he gives money to every month. This is a true story. I said, could the girls date other men? He said no.
Right.
Okay, Kendra, but they can't tell them what they're doing.
So you do it on the sneak tip.
I'm doing what I want to do.
Ooh, Lord.
Okay, you already know when you get into it.
You don't want that man to call women hoes. What? That ain't hoe behavior? That's not hoe behavior. You want to do what you want to do, so you want to sleep with other men. You just want to be a part of his roster, one of his women that he can sleep with anytime he wants, and he just pay your bills and pay for it. That's it. At 50 something. Okay, there we go. I mean, tell your truth, girl. Tell your truth.
Tell your truth. Tell it. Do you?
Baby, you can't make it up. You can't make this up. At least she was honest. At least she was honest. Let's continue.
Crystal, show
Lord
Crystal
Jesus.
Mirror, show Crystal on the board, okay? Ooh, look at the
Lord
profile
Jesus.
picture.
Come on now.
Crystal look good, child.
Yes, Lord.
You look. I want to say this. I got
Crystal,
nothing
I
but
don't
love
know.
for you. I mean, I want to I feel like I know you. My first time meeting you in person, but she's been on my show a couple of times. You are very.
Kendra be hyping these old broads up, hyping them up. Oh, girl, you know, that's so good. And you 50-something years old, ain't never been married, ain't got no man. And you talking about being on somebody's
roster. Baby, you 50-something years old with grown kids talking about he could cheat as long as he pay my bills and he rich and I could do what I want. But he gonna pay for my lifestyle, baby, at 50-something years old, child.
You do know that runs out, right? You too old to be sitting there talking about being on somebody's goddamn roster. This is the only option. If you're lucky enough to find a man who gonna pick you at 50-something years old. He might be, you gotta make sure you keep being out there so that he can see you. Cause he ain't gonna see you amongst them hot, young, tender, 20-something year olds. He ain't gonna see you, girl. He gonna look at you like you somebody's mama, like I said. He looking for hot, young, 22-year-olds to spend his time with. Why would he pick a bunch of old? That's gonna take his value down. He gonna, people, nigga, you going for the Cougars?
The Cougars?
With all these young tenderonis? You going, so you the Cougar nigga now. Huh? Like, nah, these dudes ain't trying to, they got too many young, attractive women out here who will be willing to be on that roster. You would waste a lot of time. You getting too old for that. Then you're not the first pick unless you real thirsty and you make it be known and you put yourself out there for real, and let him know, here, I'll do anything to be on that roster. Then he might be like, I'm going to give old Cougar girl a chance. I give her a chance. Let's see what she working with. They might. You better make sure you fit and you tight and you got it right, girl. You better make sure that stomach ain't sticking out because you got to compete with them 20. You better make sure that you got it all together so they can give you a chance. And you got to do the most. You got to show up and represent so he'll keep you around because you on your last leg. When he can pick some 20-year-olds who be happy to come freak him out real nice. You got to be excellente in that loving department because they got options, and then you want to be able to do whatever you want to do too, and you want him to just keep you there. It's like you get, you're older and you get seniority maybe, but because you older, so we respect the hustle, but at the same time they ain't got to do it. It's like, I'll give you a chance, but the moment you F up, you out, because I can replace you with something much finer. I'm just saying. That 50-year-old fine is nice until you stand next to the 20-year-old fine, and then they see the big difference. I'm just saying. Calling it like I see it. Jamil says light-skinned women get graded on a curve, child. That's crazy. Child. Thank you, Jamil. Oh my God. Thank you once again. Zookeeper says, love that slowed down voice effect, D. That's hot, funny as hell. Thank you, Zookeeper. I appreciate you. Baby, it's just a mess though. But listen. Now I think she's an attractive woman. Honestly, she's an attractive older woman. But for what she's asking for, I'm not surprised as to why she doesn't have it. Even those men who play games like that, they want younger, attractive women. I'm just saying. And then if you're entitled and you're looking for, she sounded like at first she wanted a real serious relationship. You really wanted somebody to be there for you and y'all be together, whatever. But now it sounds like she want a roster. She want to be on somebody's roster. This educated, successful woman. Let's continue.
Very an attractive woman. So I really do pray that God gives you the man that you want.
And I would like to say this to you, Kendra. I extremely appreciate you giving me the opportunity to present myself to the world so that I can have the opportunity to find what's really possibly out there for me.
Come on.
You are doing something phenomenal. I feel like I know you too. I cherish you. I appreciate you. And I really, really, really admire you.
I thank you so much.
God is good.
I love you guys so much. I really do.
Won't he will?
Listen, I might got some millionaire men, but they're going to be older and white. So we'll talk after the show.
Sounds good.
If y'all want to go older and white, I got a few.
You need to go to the Viagra Triangle.
Child,
You need to go hang out in the Viagra Triangle.
They paying for the hotels.
That's where the rich men, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
There you go. Come on, we gonna find us one.
Oh, you want a rich man too, Zach?
No, I need a rich woman. He gonna have a little cousin, a little something, a little auntie.
I know that's right.
I need a little auntie.
Y'all.
Thank you.
He said, go hang in the Viagra Triangle, child. That's where you gonna find them. And they gonna take that Viagra and they gonna want to put it on you. They gonna want you to put it on them. And once they done, that's a wrap. They done until the next time, honey. They ain't trying to. Them men don't have there's no need for them to get married or have a solid relationship, girlfriend at 50 and 60. They don't need that. They just want a good time. Once you rich and you old, what's the point of getting married? There's no need for marriage. I mean, they already didn't have marriage is for. Let me just say this, and then we're going to wrap this up, y'all. Marriage is for young people who want families, who really want to be committed and, in a committed relationship, and they really want children, and they really trying to build something solid. When you're old and you already have kids and some people have been married, divorced, well, they're not looking for no goddamn marriage at that age. They're looking to have a good time. And if they on Viagra or whatever, yeah, they're taking that because they need it. And okay, they want you to show them a good time, and that's it. They ain't nobody trying to get locked down at that age. They trying to have a good time to the end. So what's the point at that point? They don't want no girlfriend. They want a good time. Come on, can you give me a good time? I give you a little money. What I ain't got shit to lose. So yeah. Jamil says, perfect representation of Chicago women. LOL. Oh, wow. Child, thank you, Jamil, once again for the support. I appreciate you. Yeah, these men ain't looking. That's what I'm saying. So even she probably realized that. Oh, I could just be a part of a millionaire's roster. That's it. My kids are grown. She ain't looking to have no more kids. Them men don't want no kids. They want you to freak them out. Let's see who can be the most freaky. Come on, that's all they want. A lot of them that's old white men. And them old white men don't want no 50-year-old woman either. They want them young women too. Hell, me and my husband was talking about this the other day. They like, this ain't the old school. I'm thinking of these old school white men back in the day where these old men would just take, these women who if he's 70, he might take a 40-year-old or 50-year-old. No, they got 70, 20-year-old men wanting 20-year-olds. And hell, they want that. They don't want these old, questionable looking older bras that think they look good for their age, but they like, hell, we could get something better looking than that. Who would be willing to, freak us for a few dollars, to we'll pay their bills. You got the money. You ain't missing that money. You could pay their rent for years. Give them years worth of rent and have them there at your beck and call and just do everything you want them to do. They could get younger women who are young and, flexible. So I don't know, child. Hopefully she find what she looking for, because I ain't mad at your child. If that's what you want, that's what you want. I ain't mad at it. But people have opinions because they know that it can happen, especially if you're just trying to be on somebody's roster. If they think you look good enough, yeah, they might put you on a roster temporarily, see how you can work that out. And if you do good, they'll keep you a little longer. If you don't do too good, they're going to replace you with a younger woman. I'm just saying. Jamil says, you see Bill Belichick got a 24-year-old child. That's what I'm saying. They go for that age. They go for them 20-somethings. They understand what that's about. Thank you once again, Jamila. I appreciate you. They ain't trying to get no 40, 50-year-old woman, because they're not as, flexible as them younger girls. And I know you could be 40 in your 50s, and I see some older women who are in really good shape, but you still look like you 40 and 50 years old. You don't look 20. They want them younger women. I'm just saying. You could be mad about it all you want. That's what they want. And if that's what you want to, that's the type of life you want. And you gotta be what they want you to be. That's why I don't think it's good for older women to still be out here trying to look for that type of, you should have a husband at this point. And not even be out here on the dating scene at all. You should be chilling with your husband and y'all having good times together and building memories and things like that. And be comfortable with that. Because out here in these streets, it's difficult. You got to really be doing a whole lot at that age to try to attract a millionaire who, just to be on his roster. Now, who got time for that? You know what I mean? Nah. And I think your children will be embarrassed by that as well. Like, oh my God, my mother is out here trying to be an old hoe. I'm just saying. I don't think they would approve. I'm just saying. People sleep on the Cougars. Jamil, listen. I don't see nothing wrong with a cougar. If you want a cougar, get you a cougar. No, I don't think they sleep on the cougars, to be honest with you. I think younger men like the cougars, but I think it's short-lived. I think younger men want to play around with the cougars because it's exciting. Oh, you can get a cougar, girl. You see what she's working with. You feel good as a young person to go and get a cougar. It's like, you on another level. But you really want to marry the cougar? Jamil, do they really want to marry the cougars? Huh? We hear a lot of older women, like Lala Anthony. She divorced her husband, and now she said all the younger men coming after that other lady on tonight's podcast talking about, they YNs. They don't want you seriously. They want to play around with you. See what it's like to be with a cougar. Let's see what she's working with. Let's just see. Then once you get to explore that, it's over with. It's like me ordering things. Sometimes I order stuff I don't need, right? But it's fun getting the packages. Once I open up the packages and explore, open it up, and oh my God, I'm done with it. I'm over the excitement. Till next time, till I order something else I want to. That's how it is. You want to see what the cougar is working with. When you see what she working with, you're like, okay, been there, done that. Let's move on. I ain't taking her seriously. Them men ain't taking them cougars. That's why the older women have a hard time dating, because the men their age don't want them. That's why you're supposed to marry at a certain age. So by the time you get 40, 50s, you ain't out here on the market trying to get a man, because it's going to be more difficult. And all you run into is young men who want to explore the cougars and want to explore them, and then be like, okay, she was nice, but I ain't trying to be with her. Because guess what? He want kids one day. The cougar can't give you no goddamn family. The cougar can't really, and she don't want to. Because she didn't have her kids. Her kids are grown. You think most older women want to go from grown kids to a newborn? They don't. At that age, probably can't, or it's difficult. At 50-something, it's more difficult. You getting ready to go through menopause. So most of these young men, eventually they want children. They want a family. They know the cougar can't give them that. She's too old. So they just experimenting, playing around. And then when they're done, they keep it moving. I'm just saying. Cougars be choosing heavy. Thank you once again, Jamil. Oh, Lord. Child, it's just crazy. But anyway, once again, at the end of the day, child, it's your life. Whatever choices you make, I ain't mad at them for real. I'm just giving my opinion. Please don't be mad at me, Cougars. If you a cougar and you got you a young tenderoni and y'all it's working for y'all, shout out to y'all. Let me know. I ain't mad at it. If you got something that's working, because you know stranger things have happened. If you have something that's working and is working for y'all and y'all happy, I'm with it. I'm with it. If it's working for you, but we know just because it's possible don't mean it's likely. And I wouldn't want to take that chance, especially if you know you want something more solid. Now, if you want to be a cougar just playing around and stuff, and you don't really care about a husband and all that kind of stuff, then live your life. Shit, live your life. I can't tell you what to do. You know, you gonna do what you want, and if it's working for you, kudos to you. Project Leroy says cougars have their place as concubines too. Oh wow, okay. Well, shout out to the cougars. They have a place in this world, child. Shout out to them, you know. Thank you, Project Leroy, for the super chat. I appreciate you. I was dealing with a 29, dealing with a 36-year-old. But it was short-lived, huh, Hustler? It wasn't a long term. He said, I did not want to marry. See, I didn't want to marry her. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's just for you want to explore that for a good time. But those relationships rarely work out. Look at Tracy Ellis Ross out here talking about younger men. She dating younger men now because she's older. You have a good time with them. You know, you get to sleep with them, have a good time with them, but that's it. They're not taking you seriously for anything more than that. You kind of miss that window as a woman. You didn't find somebody who you wanted to marry or didn't want to marry you and have a real stable relationship in that time. So now that time has passed. You don't get this everlasting open window of opportunities for that. Now, there are, like I said, it's not impossible because there are women who are older who have gotten married, but a lot of them, I've seen older women get married to men around their age. Because why? That man, and in those cases, both of them had been married before and divorced. So this would be their second marriages, both of them. So those people want marriage. They've been with their exes for years and maybe one passed away or they didn't work out, and then they remarried because they like marriage. They like commitment. They don't want to be out in the streets. So they meet each other and it works out, and they both have grown kids. So they're not looking to have kids, both sides. So you'll find instances where that happens, but that's not typical. But when you find something like that, that's a blessing in my opinion, because y'all were able to do it younger, and for some reason it didn't work out, or one person passed away, and you're able to meet a like-minded person again who wants marriage and want commitment, and y'all are on the same page where y'all both already had your kids in the previous marriage. Y'all don't want no more kids, and y'all willing to be, live your lives together on the second half of your life. You know what I'm saying? So that happens, but that's not the typical thing for most people. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. So I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all. I wanted to open a panel, but I've gone a little over. So I'll be back really, really soon to maybe open a panel for panel discussion. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Shout out to everybody who joined the live stream, who gave super chats or cash apps. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Also, make sure you are watching the videos that are posted on the channel, y'all. That is super important. Hit the like button on those videos. Watch those videos. Share them if you can, y'all. And if you are in the building and you are new to the channel, you like the content and you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps to subscribe to the channel. All right. So thank y'all once again for being here. I appreciate you so much. Y'all stay tuned for more, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'll see y'all later. Bye.